Liberation. It's about restoring your freedom and confidence. Imagine golfing, hiking, or just walking without hesitation. Imagine waking up every morning without pain holding you back. With QC Kinetics, you can turn those dreams into reality by investing in something priceless, your health. Find out if you're a viable candidate by requesting a free consultation today. Call 689-283-9776. What's your health worth to you? If it's worth a free call and consultation, here's the number: 689-283-9776. 689-283-9776.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you by comparing and finding the best rates. You could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Acceptance Insurance. We shop, you save. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Do you hate litter as much as we do? We're Keep America Beautiful, and we're challenging everyone in America to pick up 25 pieces of litter between now and Earth Day. Take the pledge and join the greatest American cleanup at kab.org/greatest.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Granger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Granger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Think orange for your next vehicle. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. Lots to get to today, from Tariff Liberation Day to a big fight over the most popular show on Netflix and behind-the-scenes drama between Morgan Wallen and SNL leaks. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, Sealand.
Howdy.
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us what we call a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right in the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good.
That's it for Sean. He's done.
Bye.
I'm using AI doctors now. So I'm in the world of AI doctors.
You're about to save a lot of money because I am swimming in medical human debt.
Well, you should maybe get on the same track as me here. I don't know. I'll have to see if it's successful first. But like, I used AI, and I'm like, let me tell it everything about my life, my health, my house, my allergies. And then I said, here's what I'm taking. And it was, what do you think, AI? And it churned out some changes for me.
And it just gave all your information to China.
Probably, yeah. China eating it up today. But I only went with 2 sprays of the nose spray on its recommendation today.
And did they tell you how to do it properly?
It did. It said, like, aim it more back towards your nose hole and then do this and that. And
wait, back towards your nose hole?
Yeah, I always heard the complete opposite.
No, it's like the thing up into your brain, like shoot it right on in there, said the AI. So so far so good.
For the AI?
I paid for it's with the Twitter thing, and you get like features, and then you get to use the AI Unlimited.
Okay.
And
if you're paying for it, then
good.
I feel like it gives you better medical advice.
Maybe. It says every time, it's like, warning, dummy, this is not a doctor. This is an AI.
Every once in a while, like I really trust some of the different AIs to be like, hey, I'm just going to give you a document and I'm going to ask you questions about it, right? And a lot, more than not, it works out fantastic. But sometimes and I go, what are you doing here? I gave it a document this morning, and I said, I need you to tell me if a certain thing is possible with this document, with this warranty.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And it said, well, you should look for these phrases. And I go, mother effer, I want you to look for these phrases. This is the reason I uploaded this PDF to you in the first place.
You are the AI. You are the AI. I am the human.
Yeah.
And you will listen to my commands, AI.
Yeah, I was telling you last week, Sean, I don't know, for some reason we were trying to figure out how old my cat Luna was.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to ChatGPT and I was like, look at this picture. It's the first picture I have of Luna. It's from 2012. What do you think this cat, the age is? I never mentioned her. I was like, how old is this cat pictured? And it goes, oh, I think 4 to 6 weeks old. Oh, my God, is that Luna when she was little?
I know.
And I said, how did you know that?
It's so crazy. It's crazy how all this is working right under our noses.
My best friend.
But I'm going to see how this works. So far, the AI advice is working good, but it's only been about 4 minutes. So we haven't really gotten to test levels.
Right before the show started, you asked Dr. AI.
No, I did it yesterday, but I just started the new regimen that AI told me to do. And by the way, I hit my AI Lowe not too long ago. I was like,
you sent it a D-pic?
No, not that. But I said, I wonder if it can solve this conundrum for me. And somebody had Vague Book posted. And so I was like, all right, social media drama. Okay.
Instagram, Twitter,
and I took a screenshot of the person's Vague Book posting, and I said, can you tell me what's going on here? And it was like, I'm unable to determine, AI still sucks. All right, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. We go to Wisconsin, friends.
Yeah.
Which, was that where that 70s show was? No.
Hello, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Wisconsin got the shout out there. There was an election there. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. A judge election, which to me, these should be like nonpartisan things. Judges shouldn't be partisan, but I guess we passed the point of no return on that one. And then, of course, we had the Florida elections, which we'll talk about. But one of the weird things was I saw Elon Musk was giving away $1 million checks to some of these people that registered to vote for this election in Milwaukee. And the video of one of the ladies that won was just, it was so weird. I was like, is this how it's supposed to work in the United States of America?
I ask that all the time.
You'll get the vibe here. This is the lady who won one of the $1 million checks, and she made a little video for them about this election. Here it is.
My name's Ekaterina Diesler. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I did exactly what Elon Musk told everyone to do. Sign a petition, refer friends and family, and now I have $1 million.
That seems so strange to me.
Also, it sounds like you have a gun to your head.
With this money, I'm definitely going to start investing with my dad. I'm young. I've been done with money spent right away, but now it's a big step into the future, so...
She should be happier. She won $1 million. If I won $1,000, I'd be like, hell
what
yeah!
up, mother effers? Look at me, millionaire.
I'd be so thrilled. She's not happy enough. But isn't it weird? It's like no matter where you are, team red, team blue, like it seems a little weird to be like, I did exactly what this person told me to do. I registered to vote. I told my friends and family, and I voted in the election. And you're like, what?
And now I have $1 million, and that I will invest with my father.
Yeah, and by the way, I hate this no matter who does it. If this was some left-wing thing and George Soros was like, I was paid by, that's weird, right?
Yeah,
like, it
these
seems
are
weird.
The extremities of both sides where it's folks like us. I mean, we're entertained by it, but it's almost like, just like this played, SNL will have a sketch about it this weekend.
Yeah.
And it comes off the same way.
It used to just be like rock the vote. Get out there and vote. If you don't vote, you lose. And like they did. Essentially, the messaging before this would tell you.
Let's go back in time. No, rock the vote. Everybody welcome P. Ditto.
He'll give you 2 bottles of baby oil.
Forgot about that part, yeah. But they used to just kind of shame you into saying you were a loser if you didn't vote. And now it's like, we'll give you $1 million if you get out there and vote in this judge election, which otherwise people probably ignore. And you go, man, it's wild. That's just kind of crazy. It's maybe the spot we're at. But let us know what you think. I had seen this, and I had seen Elon out there handing out these big old checks, the big old fake checks. Led to a real check, I'm sure, of $1 million. But
the reason for the checks is that it's really just to get attention. It's like,
is that
we need to get attention. And it's somewhat inevitably when I do these things.
Stop moving.
The sort of it causes the legacy media to like kind of lose their minds. And
on the 4 on the check, it says spokesperson. Like, as you on the check, you put the name, you put the money, you put
the memo line.
The memo line says spokesperson, and so I guess is that the idea that we're paying you to be a spokesperson, $1 million,
okay,
and
an
then
endorsement.
you make Then you make your video to tell people that you got the $1 million or something. I guess that's how they did it.
They'll run it on every news channel, and I'm like, I couldn't pay them it would cost like 10 times more, or it's to get the kind of coverage that we get.
Well, what do you mean you couldn't pay them? What do you mean you couldn't pay them? You 100%.
Yeah, he actually doesn't care about the $1 million that he's given out to a handful of these people in this election.
Isn't that wild to you? Like $1 million is
money.
nothing to Elon.
Well, the crazy thing to me is he was giving all this money to this new baby mama, and he's like, well, you know what? This problem will sort itself out. And I'm thinking, damn, imagine having that much money. I know a lot of guys who, if some woman called him and was like, hey, we hooked up 3 months ago, and I'm 3 months pregnant.
I got your baby.
It's going to be, and I know so many guys would be like, I'll pay for the smortion. I can't afford this. It's going to crush me financially.
And your plane ticket to another state.
I'll get you whatever you need.
I just got a brand new 2-story house. You want to come over and see the stairs?
Yeah, I got all of these coat hangers ready to go. Like, I know there's a lot of guys who would get that call and be like, damn. But when you got that much money, you're like, all right, sort it out with one of my attorneys.
Yeah.
Jesus,
he also loves spreading the seed.
I guess so. He does. That's the thing. He thinks we're not having enough babies. Maybe he's right about that. I don't know. It just, the whole paying for votes thing seems weird to me no matter who does it. And this is kind of just where we're at and everybody's accepting it. Meanwhile,
it's illegal. Not everybody's accepting it.
P to Val Kilmer, who has died at 65 years old, which I thought the greatest trick ever would have been if this was fake, just like when Val Kilmer faked his death during the documentary about him, which was one of the funniest things.
You just remind me, I haven't watched that yet.
Oh my God. Val Kilmer's doing this documentary about him after throat cancer, and he can barely speak. He's got, the whole throat thing.
Whoa.
And he's talking to the camera, and in the middle of this interview, he drops on the ground. And the crew from the documentary panics. One of them's like running for 911.
Great
the guy puts down his camera. The person who was interviewing him is like, Val, are you okay? Val, is everything okay? And he's like, they're running into panic mode. Everybody's freaking out. And then he just goes, and he just starts laughing. And they pan to all the production crew, and they're like, we really thought you were dying. It just wasn't that funny.
But
and
we
I'm
are
like,
going to include it in the final cut.
Yes. I was like, that's mega funny. Fake dying on somebody is the height of funny. That's hilarious.
That's what I should have done for April Fool's Day.
If you would have done it, if you would have done that for this, I think he is actually dead, though, unfortunately.
I thought Sabrina was trying every last way yesterday to April Fool's prank people.
Mm-hmm.
And
buddy, you missed it out, Sean.
There was one we had to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what happened? Hold on, I
Here's
missed
the
it.
thing. I was very excited because C-Lane popped in and he said, hey, do the paper under the mouse trick.
Okay, yeah.
I do it every
so
year.
like the mouse doesn't work because it's laser based if there's a paper on
and
it.
I was very excited. I wrote, and he's like, write April Fool's Day. And I write it and I tape it. And then
I get somebody with this prank like once a year.
And I was like, finally, because that would have been my one for the day. And then the clock starts ticking, and it's getting closer to the next show, and the person who the prank is going to be on, Jack Bradshaw, is not there.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, I am.
Then it's 3:01, and he's frantically rushing to the studio.
And I could see it in his eyes.
I'm texting Sabrina like,
take it off.
Take the paper off.
Take the paper off.
Take the paper off.
What a pussy. That would have been the height of the prank. The greatest part of the prank is like, next show can't start.
I almost threw the paper in my mouth. I was so scared to ruin his day even more.
But then,
hey, guess what? If Jack showed up and Mouse prank got him, you know what you say? Try showing up a couple minutes earlier. You're right here in the office.
Okay, yeah, that would be great.
Sure, that
shouldn't be hard for you to get. Shouldn't be hard for you to get here in time to make sure there's not some April Fool's prank going on.
You're getting a little rude to Jack, as I did not see the time. But the greatest part was that he was able to utilize his accidental tardiness by telling the Jim Colbert Show April Fool's Day. That was their thing.
No, but so after that, we're walking towards the elevators. Sabrina and I are leaving, and I had to use the restroom. So I said, "Hey, I'll see you tomorrow," and she left.
And I go, you can go number 1 or number 2?
I said,
bye.
She didn't ask, but I was like, "I'll see you tomorrow," and then I, use the restroom, and I get back in, and I go in the elevator, and I stand there, and the elevator just closes and opens, and closes and opens.
What?
And I was like, "The hell did she do?" She's been trying. She's been trying her
April Fool's prank
trying
ever.
her damnedest to just eke out one simple April Fool's joke.
Rigged the system.
And I'm like, did she hit some buttons? I don't know. And then I just had to use the different elevator.
Greatest April Fool's Day ever is you drop down the elevator. It explodes when it hits the bottom floor, and she's like that little girl in the meme with the house is on fire in the background. Everything's getting dark.
And then I get arrested.
Oh, man. All right. Well,
Fun
Val
times.
Kilmer, Val Kilmer dead at 65 years old. He was best known for Jim Morrison in the Doors movie, which was...
and Top Gun.
I was going to get to that, but I wanted to stop on this for a second. I think the Doors movie might have been one of the early movies that I personally had heard about where the actor was really annoying. And... like, from what I heard, they were doing a cattle call audition to see who was going to play Jim Morrison from The Doors. And all these guys who look just like Jim Morrison, they all show up, and everybody's trying to go over their lines and stuff and be on point. And in swings Val Kilmer. And the door kicks open, right?
Hey, I'm Val.
Val Kilmer, nobody really knew him quite as much back then. But Val Kilmer struts into this office with all these other actors. He's got skin-tight leather pants on, highlighting his junk. he has no shirt and no shoes on and like a bandana around his forehead and is maybe tripping acid for real. And he wanders into these auditions for the role. And everybody's like, oh, my God, this guy. Jesus Christ, here goes this guy. It worked.
Yeah.
It worked, but that was the first time I was like, I'm going to go so full into this character. I'm never going to break character for the remainder of this film.
And imagine if that didn't work. Now you're a guy with no shoes, no shirt, leaving the audition, tripping balls.
I failed. I didn't get the job. And now I'm tripping here on the sidewalk in Los Angeles.
Why is that guy still in the waiting room? Well, he's trying to come down.
He is talking to a wall right now.
Oh, well, there you go. We'll talk about those elections a little bit and what's going on with them a little later on in the show. When we come back, we got to talk about the biggest show on Netflix right now. There's some interesting drama around that one.
Boston?
And there's a whole, no, that's not, it's not number one. It's the Adolescence show that's number one. But we'll get into that. And then also today's a big day for tariffs. Is the entire financial market going to collapse? Are we going to start winning? Is this the golden age of America? We'll find out. Let's see what's going to happen. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
You text us at 77031 and we say it on the air. Sometimes we might even give you credit. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
There's a couple accidents on the roadways to look out for on Colonial Drive, east of Magnolia Avenue. A crash on Turkey Lake Road, south of Sand Lake Road. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 before US 27 and after State Road 429 in between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. Road resurface repairs continue on the express lanes of State Road 429 southbound at Independence Toll Plaza. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blue Stream Fiber. HOA and condo board members, fiber internet has never been easier. Blue Stream Fiber simplifies the switch, helping your community save up to 50% while keeping residents happy. Their step-by-step process makes upgrading hassle-free. Visit bluestreamfiber.com/radio today.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance.
Let's go, Mike. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Fritz on the Street coming up in an hour and 40 minutes ish. We'll have Fritz on the Street today at 1 o'clock. Please do play along with us. Hopefully the AI didn't screw up and my voice is good today. Mr. Predicto, do I need to take more medicine for my postnasal drip?
Is no.
Yeah, that's right. Go AI. Hello, Feral Kitten, a.k.a. Christina. Hello, Feral Kitten, how are you? Good Wednesday. Val Kilmer was in the movie Real Genius. I've seen that once, forever and a day ago. I've seen quite a few Val Kilmer movies, actually. I really liked him. I thought he was good. But he's been sick for a long time. And pneumonia's a bitch. So, there you go. Hey, Cyclone Ranger. How are you? Good to have you around. I'm going to win big for somebody in Fritz on the Street today. Hey, who has watched Adolescence on Netflix at this point? Who has watched Adolescence? If so, give us your thoughts on that, because that's coming up next. And it's not just, we're not generally talking about the show because it's been out for a bit now. Something else that's happening with it that I think is quite interesting. We'll see if you agree. Tammy says pneumonia is horrible. Yeah. Especially when you've got issues like he did, throat, lung issues. He's had health issues for a long time. All right, here we go. We're coming back now. when I see this headline, I go, oof. You know, this seems to me like one of the things that I see so often in the media where it's like this makes people rage against how biased people can be. And the headline from the Daily Beast is, Netflix show that MAGA hates becomes one of its most popular of all time. And I think this is supposed to be like MAGA-owned kind of thing. And they hated this, but everybody loves it on Netflix. And I was asking the folks on the live stream, hey, have you seen this? A lot of people saw it. A lot of people across the board have seen this show. A lot of people saying that Netflix. And I was asking the folks on the live stream, hey, have you seen this? A lot of people saw it. A lot of people across the board have seen this show. A lot of people saying that they absolutely enjoyed this, that they did or did not understand what was happening in the ending, because I know a lot of people were kind of confused by that. There was a lot of this kind of reaction afterwards. And then I saw yesterday the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer of England, and he posted this, right? And this, I think, is the problem with that headline, Netflix show MAGA hates because one of the most popular of its of all time, from the Daily Beast. So the PM of England says, as a father, watching Adolescence with my teenage son and daughter hit home hard. We all need to be having these conversations more. I've backed Netflix's plan to show the series for free in schools across the country, so as many young people can see it as possible, right? And then I saw somebody ask over on chat, was that based on a true story? They said, well, you know, was that actually based on a true story, this Adolescence show? And here's the deal, and here's the why on they'll say, like, people, MAGA people hate this show, even though I don't think they do. The problem is, the impetus for this show, like the thing that spawned this show, was a true story. It was about somebody getting stabbed to death in England. But the person who was doing the stabbing was a migrant. And
like
when
the
they
Taylor
saw...
Swift?
No. Well, it may have been that one, but it was one of the main stories there. That was another one that was huge when there was a Taylor Swift listening party and some nut job went in there and started like killing people at this Taylor Swift party thing. But there's a lot of these attacks that have happened. And one of them that inspired the directors and producers was a knife attack from this migrant person. But they thought, well, we can't have the lead be some sort of migrant person. That will be too inflammatory, and that will be a bad message to send, right? So instead, they had a little white British kid take the lead role and be the person that stabbed. And they reworked the story to be about, like, incel young kids and Andrew Tate culture in the UK, right? And then after watching that, all of these people go, this is a really important story. Everybody should see this. We need to even get this in schools. We'll make sure it's free and available for all students. And I don't know how that would work. Like if your school goes, hey, it's free to watch Adolescence. You go to the library. Do they just show it in the classroom?
From what I
don't know how that works.
Over at the UK, they even brought it up in Parliament, saying, and maybe that's what you're referring to, but it was almost shortly after, maybe week of, that they brought it up about providing this to parents to show their children. And I immediately thought of 13. The movie 13 with, now I'm blanking on her name, but used to be married to Evan Rachel Wood. And that was, at the time, my mom and her friends talked about, like, sitting down and watching that with your child.
Right. And
now as an adult looking at it, I'm like, I see what you were trying to do, and I appreciate that. But this movie was not that for...
Well, I don't mind that there are generational movies that maybe could be helpful. I would even say, and you guys, I think maybe are on the cusp of this. You guys remember Kids? You remember that movie?
Yeah, I have no
Never
legs.
saw it.
No?
Yeah, I have no legs.
It's wild.
Kids was an interesting movie for parents at the time to encourage their kids to watch, even though it was like a party movie and a lot of stuff. But it was about AIDS. And
like Rent.
It was done in such a way that it might scare younger people and make them aware of the problems of that. The problem I have here was the people who came up with this, they used as inspiration an actual issue, which is migrant crime in the UK, these people who are brought into the country and then, in these different incidents have attacked people, but they thought that was a bad message that they didn't want to share with anybody. So they took the little white kid and made him the head of this and gave it a different spin. And then they said, now we do like that message, not the real message. They said the other message that they created in the wake of that, we do like that one, and we think every kid should watch it. And that's sort of like this weird top-down, what messages are okay and what messages are not okay. You were horrified by an immigrant there in your country stabbing and killing people, but you were scared that if you made that movie or that TV show, the reaction would be bad, and socially it would be the wrong thing to do. But it would be okay if you did it angled at a completely different group that had nothing to do with the thing that you were inspired by. That's what I find to be weird about this stuff. And I think that when they say Netflix show MAGA hates, I think they're just saying, like, they don't like the hypocrisy of that. They don't like this message is not okay, this message is approved, right? And one message is true, and one message is a work of fiction that they came up with in this case. That, I think, is weird. And I don't think it's like a MAGA hates this thing. And for myself, and you heard me probably talk about this on the show, I thought it was a really good show. It was really good. Not for the message, but the message was very interesting. And the message I took away from it was a couple things, but one of them was how families deal with guilt amongst their ranks. So how do you deal when somebody you love has been accused of something horrific and you don't necessarily want to deal with that fact? And then also young violent men, right? That's the other thing going on here. But now it becomes like something else, right? And they're going to, I don't know how you do this in all these schools and stuff, but that's what they're going to be working on. Maybe in the U.S. too. Who knows? It's very, very popular right now.
If they could show everybody where the red fern grows, then we'll figure out how to do adolescence, right?
I don't even remember the red fern grows. Robert Frost or something?
Kills the dog at the end or something. Goes and shoots him. One of those, I don't know. Like, I remember I had to watch it. I had to watch the Don Quixote and as well as Passion of the Christ in my Catholic school days.
They had, it was Catholic school. I was going to say they had Passion of the Christ in school.
I don't think I ever actually saw Passion of the Christ either.
I don't remember, but I think this show does have cursing in it, right? Like, I think there is cursing in the show, which, again, I'm not even put off by that much. Kids are going to hear curse words. The acting is interesting. I just am put off by the fact that one message was not the right message, in air quotes. The other message was the right message, and you're totally okay with the fake version of this. And that is hypocrisy. It absolutely is. It's just it's like what Hollywood does nonstop. And so that's why some people have issues with this show. But let us know what you think. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. Rick says, did he commit the stabbing because he wasn't from the UK? That seems to be your message now. No, that's not my message. My message is they were bringing in unchecked numbers, huge numbers of migrants from countries in regions that do not assimilate in Western culture. And amongst these people who were largely unchecked, there were people who violently attacked their own citizens, including stabbing them to death. And I am going out on a crazy limb and saying that is bad.
Yeah.
And a movie highlighting that or a series highlighting that would be something that I would say, hey, let's talk about this.
Absolutely. But the same could
that's not
be
what
said
they did.
For in America and school shooters.
Sure. And have we not done that? I mean, it's a largely just accepted meme in American culture. It's like when there's a school shooting, what white kid did it? What white kid went in there and trench coat mafia'd the place up? And to an extent, you can back some of that stuff up. But you can also back up this thing. And nobody wants to touch it because the message is bad, right? And that, I think, is not good. Not good. But I guess it's kind of expected. All right, we'll see what you think. That's the big Netflix show at the moment. The other one that I see rising up, starting to get more attention, very dark. Very dark. Is it a docu-series or one-off?
The one I was telling you about in the commercial break?
Mm-hmm.
It is a docu-series. Started it last night. Gone Girls and the Long Island serial killer. And this is new to me. It popped up. It was the spotlight on Netflix yesterday, and we dove in. And very interesting. Like,
you remember us talking about the story, though, right?
I don't. That's the thing. I don't.
Briefly. We talked about the story
in
because
2011, 2010 is when all this, they found all these bodies off the coast of Long Island.
Yeah, but that's not when we talked about it. We talked about it when they finally made an arrest and the guy's wife turned on him. That was...
I don't feel like I was there. I do not remember this.
Maybe not. You might not have been here, but we talked about that on the show when his arrest took place, and they go, "We suspect this guy." This
well,
he was
spoiler
like a
alert, I'm not
businessman.
there yet. They still don't know who it is.
Oh,
so they tease it. They know that it might be one guy, but then you see, like, I'm at the moment right now where the DA is battling this new chief of police, who then ends up getting arrested for kicking some dude's ass. And that guy, turns out, was, when he was like 15 years old, the prime or like the key witness and putting somebody away. And then on top of that, I'm getting this layer of, I didn't know much about Long Island.
Yeah.
I have always thought it to be, off of, New York, and it's not really like shined upon in Hollywood. It's always, I thought it was like the club area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you end up in Long Island. There's a whole thing to it. So I have
Right.
found it great so far. I think I'm 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
So recommending so far.
The one thing I think that I don't know that I necessarily want to watch, and I basically told Ashley, like, watch this without me because she wants to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, I don't know that I need to because we were so deep into this Karen Reed thing when it was happening.
I love the documentary.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's good.
I thought it was great. And it's for her.
Worth it, even though, like, the three of us, while it was happening, were super tuned in. Like,
yes, and here's why. Because I think it shows you more about who she is as her character, and it presents the case definitely in a favorable light to her. Even though I still came out with the exact same outcome, it's interesting to hear it from a bit of a different perspective.
Yes.
And yeah, I thought, like, just a case study on people who did something bad and then don't want to believe it. And that's why the retrial is going to be very interesting too for her.
How a town and now the nation responds to that.
Mm-hmm.
And they just started jury selection yesterday.
Yeah.
And turns out everybody they've picked so far is very aware of the case.
That's going to be a problem for them. This one's now been a big case out there. Noel says, or Noel on YouTube, it's hypocrisy on both sides. Like when they make a Civil War era movie and they show the horrors of slavery, Republicans get mad and say there's an agenda. Has there been that kind of backlash on some of these movies? The problem is we don't see a lot of those movies anymore. You get one every once in a while. You get a killer one, too. Like you get 12 Years a Slave or Django Unchained, and you get a movie that highlights that period. And I think mostly people get it and go with it. I don't think there's a whole bunch of people, well, we need to better tell the story of the South here in America. I don't know if that's the case. I think you can't see that as much right now because still, even though there's been a huge cultural backlash in the last couple of years, still, people with left-wing views have a lot of the reins in areas of entertainment. So the stuff that gets made, the way things are presented are often through their lenses and filters. And so sometimes it ends up like this. But if I saw that in a second, I'd say, well, that's ridiculous. Obviously, a movie about slavery has to show the horrors of slavery because it was a horrific thing. That would be absolutely every bit as weird to me. Okay, we're going to see what you think. A lot of thoughts, a lot of people chiming in on things, and that is good. I want to hear about that. Send your dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. We got some good news, some happy news, our good news of the day.
Do you have an alert for such a thing?
I may.
He doesn't
I may
know
not.
what it is.
No, I got it. We're doing when we come back because I thought this was a nice little thing that we should spend some time on. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
So intermittent explosive disorder.
Okay, that's not even what I have.
Let her go. It involves repeated, sudden episodes of impulsive, aggressive, violent behavior or angry verbal outbursts in which you react grossly out of proportion to the situation.
What is that?
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
Broadcasting live from the Cool Today Weather Center at cooltoday.com.
Happy Wednesday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And today is going to be another hot one, but overall staying mostly dry. We don't have widespread showers and storms in the forecast for today, but temperatures will be back into the low 90s under a partly to mostly sunny sky. A high of around 90 degrees today in Orlando. The 90s will stick with us all the way throughout the weekend. It's not until about Tuesday that we start to get some relief from the heat and also some more rain chances. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Hear that? It's Springfest savings calling your name at Lowe's. Get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery when you buy a Select Ego trimmer, blower, or mower. Lowe's. They help, you save. Valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you by comparing and finding the best rates. You could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Acceptance Insurance. We shop, you save. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 20% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. 16.5.
What the hell, people? When I leave Skull Mic on, I need immediate notifications that Skull Mic is still on. That was a colossal fail. Completely jeopardized the stream. I have half a mind to shut down the stream for today and just say goodbye to everybody. Now, was it my mistake? Yes. It was definitely my mistake. Was it my fault? Yes, it was my fault. But were you responsible? No, but I feel like yes, okay? So next time, don't let that happen again. Do it, pussy. You've lost your mind. You have no idea what I am capable of. You have no idea. I will shut this shit off so fast. Pawn all the cameras in this studio. Live off the wealth from selling this equipment. And enjoy the rest of my days in solitude and away from all the people in chat. Do not make me go nuclear on this. I will do it, but I don't want to necessarily. Sean will live in a homeless camp? No. No, I won't. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think, who sent that. I won't, because you know what I'll do? I'll hit rock bottom. I'll utilize the resources provided to me by my fellow citizens and state and local governments. I will build myself back up brick by brick. Slowly but surely over time, I will crawl back to exactly where I was before that, because that's what human beings should be able to do. Imagine that. Big Doug Millionaire says, utilize the resources of government like homeless shelters. Yes, of which there are many already conveniently located around the city. Also, all the other resources that could be used so you're not perpetually homeless. But keep going with your terrible, terrible, terrible ideas on how to solve the problem that in no cities where you've tried them have ever worked. Yes, keep going in your direction, not mine. Mine is dart the crazy hobos, get them help in asylums. Take the other folks who are perpetually homeless, inform them that you no longer can sleep outside in public areas. It's just not something we're going to allow. Add 4 facilities that will hold these people round the clock, give them a place to rebuild their lives if they want to, so that they can gain back all of the freedoms and everything else that any other citizen gets. But put a little pressure on them to do better. But what do I know? I'm just a person who watches all the other policies fail and people continue to root them on. What do I know, right? Back at 60.
Made window coverings at guaranteed low prices with a team of pros ready to help you every step of the way. Blindster.com.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Hey there, my sink is leaking water. I need help right now.
We're having a company-wide staring contest. Do you want to play?
But what about my sink?
Okay, me versus you.
No.
Ready, go.
No, I'm not playing. And you know what? I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, I almost blinked.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When it comes to plumbing problems, you want a helpful operator to guide you and an honest and reliable plumber to provide customized solutions for your home.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
He won't hesitate to call you out when you're being a little asky. This is the...
Mike during the break, because we've been building up the live stream around the show on YouTube and Twitch, and if we're to perform as well as some of the other folks, you can't exactly have a bunch of big commercial breaks. Doesn't work in live streaming. So I yap at the folks from a Skull Mike in the studio during the break, and somebody said, when's Sean going to run for office? And the answer to that is always going to be no. Never, no, never. I will only from here on out support people who I think have fresh and good ideas, which I will do at every opportunity. The second question was, when has Sean ever run for anything? And I will have you know, friend, I ran full speed last night. All right. So I still have it in me. We went for a walk around the neighborhood and we're like, oh, that's nice. A little later on. We're taking ladies, so it's not so hot.
When it was like downpouring?
It wasn't supposed to at first. It was kind of just a nice night.
Yesterday.
There was a little bit of heat lightning for a bit, Sabrina, but there wasn't too much. And then all of a sudden, crack, right next to us. And I go, it wasn't as close as that one time, but it was nearby. And I go, oh my God.
You didn't have neighborhood lady driving through like, it's got a storm, get out of here.
There was somebody that said that. Somebody said something from a house, but Courtney couldn't hear exactly what she said. And then we were like, should we finish our walk? And we said, no, let's get on our street and start beelining it. And then the rain starts coming down heavy, and we were 2 blocks away. And I full sprint, fly. And then I look next to me, and lady is at the end of her leash, running next to me full speed. We're hauling ass.
Where's Courtney?
She's a little bit behind. She's a runner, but I'm faster than her. She's just learned that I am faster than her. I'm a man. She's a woman. I have the power at short distances to overcome, even though you guys don't think I have it anymore. I'm fast as a lightning bolt, man. And I ran full speed yesterday. So that's one for you folks on chat who think you know what's going on.
Can't get any
quicker. You don't have to. I can show you the security cam footage of me just.
I dare you.
That people in the neighborhood will call me Benny the Jet. I was moving, man. I was moving.
Benny the Jet?
Yeah, Benny.
Would you guys watch anything? Have you ever seen anything in cultural and the cultural forces out there in the United States of America? Have you ever seen a movie in your life?
Yeah, seen quite a few movies.
And you don't know who that is?
I know Benny and the Jets.
Okay. All right. All right.
There
fine.
he is chiming in.
Yeah, fine.
I don't even know where that came from.
I've never
Benny
heard
the
that
Jet?
noise before. No, it was like a.
Oh, that's HQ and all the suits at iHeart chiming in.
Oh, it's the liar detector.
Yeah, they're recording things that we're saying right now. But I can't believe you guys don't know who that is. That's unbelievable to me, and we'll see
It's
what
from your
happens.
time, black and white.
It's not from my time, which is not black and white. It's a classic, so it should be from everybody's time. But it is probably before you guys a little bit. I'm not sure. All right, you ready for some good news? How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We got some good news in a sea of despair where everybody else is just crying about all the bad things happening in the world. There is good news out there in the United States of America and beyond.
Good news alert!
This
Good news alert!
is adorable. Absolutely adorable. Thank you to Chat for getting it. Benny the Jet Rodriguez is correct. Yes, at least you guys know what's going on. The good news is such a sweet one. This is something that happened when a person came back to visit their dog for the first time in quite a long time. That person just happened to be up in space at the International Space Station. And Sunita Williams, a.k.a. Suni, I think is what they call her nickname.
Sunny?
She comes home to greet her dogs. And her dogs thought she was only going to be gone for 8 days, just like she did. But the dogs had to wait.
Change of plans.
And now this is the moment when her dogs greeted her as she came home from space. Here they are. Making her way out to the yard. Two dogs.
Oh.
They're so excited. Their tails are wagging.
I didn't think she'd be up and walking already.
Yeah, she's cruising.
Bye. And they
She might
ran
be a
away.
little out of breath. Yeah, then they're gone. See you later. There they go. Back at her.
Here's my big boy.
Oh,
About
man, I would
8
be
months
crying.
later, she comes home from space and
Very
greets her
interesting.
dogs.
I've seen like videos like this where
Mhm.
a dog's lost for months or years, and then it takes them a moment, like kind of a little sketch about who this person is, or maybe somebody's shaved their beard off, and it's the smell that the dog recognizes, and then it's happy wag tail time. I imagine after that much time in the ISS that she smells different. No.
I don't know. I think you just have.
ChatGPT.
I believe you just have an inherent smell, and I think that's what dogs pick up on more than absolutely anything. But I'm asking AI right now what happens when astronauts get back from ISIS for a long time, because I don't think it's as big of a hurdle as you think it is.
They get back from ISIS?
Did I say ISIS? ISS. I didn't say ISS.
It said ISIS.
No, my bad. When astronauts return from a long-duration mission on the International Space Station, typically lasting 6 months or more, their bodies undergo a significant readjustment process due to the effects of microgravity. Muscle and bone loss is obvious, cardiovascular changes, and fatigue. They said after landing, often in remote areas, they're helped out of the spacecraft. They're usually carried or supported because they can't walk right away. Then they give them their medical checks, and then they start a structured rehab program. But they said most astronauts can take a few steps within hours or days. So you basically just have to get used to gravity once
I thought
again.
it was going to be months.
No, it doesn't take that long. For the full recovery, it could take 3 to 6 months to feel normal again. But they're up and walking within hours.
Do you think it's like getting off a boat? You know, when you like been on a boat all afternoon, then
Probably.
you get on land and you still feel a little wobbly.
Yeah.
Probably. Where you're like still
Space.
rocking and rolling around, moving like you are when your cruise ship gets hit with a whole big ass storm. Which saw a video of that this week and made me more frightened of getting stuck in one of these places where the weather gets out of control. Not a good time.
We're going to stay on land and home forever.
Yeah, maybe for now at least. Let's see what you got for us. Let's check out some dispatches, which is going to be helpful because I had them push a change today, and we'll see if this improves the quality of the dispatches or makes them worse. I'm really rolling the dice just hitting play on anything right now because it could ruin my day. Let's just give it a shot. Here's Master Bruce with the dispatch, talking about movies that are tough for kids to watch sometimes.
Yo, junkies. You guys are talking about shows that would just be like controversial to show your kids and whatnot. 13 Reasons Why was not too long ago. That was
a big one.
That was very touchy on the suicidal topic.
Actually, that was also on Netflix, I think, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yes.
it?
I believe so.
So they're trying to get these shows, it would appear, that are really resonating with younger people or supposedly showing the life of youth in any kind of time capsule. One more for now. Here's Guitar Slinger.
I hate to get into semantics over this Adolescence movie. However, my take is that either a movie is a work of fiction or it's a documentary. A documentary, you're going on facts. A work of fiction is a work of fiction. Whether they say based on a true story or inspired by a true story, unless they're going down the schedule of how it actually happened verbatim, it's a work of fiction. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's not the problem. You're not getting it. The problem, and maybe I'm not communicating it well. I'll try better here. The problem with the adolescence thing is there was a legit thing that happened that frightened people, frightened the creators of this show. And they said, we got to tell this story or a story around this. But the actual story was one that they were afraid to tell. Socially, it was not okay. It's taboo to talk about that problem for whatever reason. So they had to take it and twist it into a thing that was okay for them in the world of entertainment and socially to do. They had to take the person from being an immigrant in the UK to being a white British kid. They had to take the motivations from being X to being Y. They had to change all these things to take something that horrified them in the first place and show it to other people so that the message was approved, right? That's it. It's as basic as that to me, but maybe you see it a different way. That's fine.
Adolescence, the one you were talking about, that because I still haven't seen it, that they were doing single take shots.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think you'll like it for the overall show and the way. I think you will like, though, Celine, like, I don't know if this is your style in terms of TV show, but I think you will like it because you'll like thinking about how they pulled off the one shot, because it is really interesting watching and going, oh man, the camera people are so crazy talented in this, maneuvering stairwells.
So
and they had 2 takes a day, from what I understand. And there's one episode in which, like, everyone was doubting that it was one shot because it goes from a classroom through a window, chase scene, then wide shot in the air, and then you see the behind the scenes, and it was like, okay, y'all managed this.
It was awesome.
The behind the scenes, I have seen some of that footage, and it's crazy where it's like they have a dude walking with a drone and then like lifts it into the air, and whoever's piloting like turns on the rotors, and it goes and lifts up and just continues the shot, which is insane to me. But the with that in mind, you need to watch The Studio, the Seth Rogen show I've been telling you about.
This is getting good buzz so far.
That show also, the second episode, I don't know about the first, the second episode is all one shot.
Is it? Okay.
And I didn't even realize it. It's kind of meta because the second episode is about them trying to pull off a oneer, like shooting a oneer.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, Ashley looks at me and goes, "Did you realize that was all one shot?" And I go, "No." And she goes, "You want to watch it again, don't you?" And I go, "Kind of."
Yeah, kind of. Because that's a feat. And when I was watching it, one of the episodes of Adolescence on Netflix, which we've been kind of talking about today, and some of the drama around it, one of the things I saw was there was a scene where the police went into the classroom. Police are talking about the aftermath of this crime. And the officer goes, or the teacher in the classroom goes, "Kids, your attention. Kids, your attention." And the teacher goes, "This is Officer Mr. Stanton, and he's going to talk to you about a couple of things." And then the teacher goes back to sitting back, and the officer goes to speak. And then the teacher goes, "I'm sorry, this is Mr. Stanton and Mrs." And then they introduced the female officer that was next to the male officer. That was a mistake. The teacher was supposed to introduce both of them, but the teacher stopped and then goes, "Oh, hold on, let me introduce both of them."
Oh, yeah.
But it felt like something that would happen in real life.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
mistake.
And there was a scene where when he was with his psychiatrist, and mind you, this was like 30 minutes, all one take.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it was the second take of the day, and the psychiatrist yawned. And all of a sudden, this kid, mind you, never acted before in his life.
I still can't believe that.
Was like, "Am I boring you?" And then they went into this like kind of improv tangent. that made it feel even more real.
Is acting that easy, or is this kid just like some magic actor that he's never acted before?
And direction, I think, is very important.
So many people, well, he was not even getting direction live in the moment. He had to do that. He had to come up with that naturally. And he just said, this person's yawning, let me run with this. And that I was astonished that this young kid had never acted in anything before. Because I think that does take chops, right? Like, I don't think acting is the hardest thing in the world. I think people kind of make it out to be harder than it is in a lot of cases. But I think, not voice acting. I think voice acting is actually much harder than actual acting. But actual acting, you have to kind of just be yourself in the moment and then tweak off of that. But that doesn't mean you don't have a brain big enough to know, hey, this just happened. My smartest improv move, because that's what that is to react to it by going, oh, what, am I boring you? I'm sorry. And his ability to go from chill, calm, and collected to screaming at somebody and, and angry in a snap like that, like his character actually would have done, was very, very good. Very impressive stuff. So there you go. That's that. We'll take some more dispatches as we roll on. We still got to talk about the tariff stuff that's happening today, but you might find that boring. We'll try to make it sexy, what happened to these elections. And also, there is a story out of South Carolina that they say is shocking. Next level, they say. What's happening there? We'll touch on that disturbing national trend. Boy, have I heard that overused in these stories. We'll discuss it together. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Download the all-new iHeartRadio app. Make Real Radio 104.1 #1 on your presets, and you could win free stuff at upcoming events.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Road surface repairs continue on State Road 429 southbound, approaching Independence Toll Plaza. The express lanes are closed. There's slowdowns on Florida's Turnpike, northbound before I-4 and congestion on I-4 through that Champions Gate area and between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535 there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
What if I can guarantee the price of Bitcoin will be $1 million in 2030? Well, I can't, but I can guarantee you'll save a lot of money on blinds at my company, Blindster.com. Free samples, free shipping, and guaranteed to fit. Shop at Blindster.com today.
Sunnyside Electric.
Hello, I need a new electrical outlet.
We are learning about pickleball today.
Okay.
Isn't that a funny name?
What about my electrical?
Pickleball.
I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, it's like miniature tennis.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you need electrical work in your home, you need a trustworthy electrician who can clearly explain how to solve any dilemma. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
UB40, the Relentless Tour 2025. August 19th, Hard Rock Live, Orlando. Get tickets Friday, 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster and Hard Rock Live box office. UB40, in concert.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Heard of the job? Dial pound 529 on your cell. Pound law, that's all.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got questions after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
Viral stories of the day, and that's why you come here, hopefully. And if you're new, well, welcome on board. You can learn more about the show or see our faces or subscribe to the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. Man, the stock is plummeting. Not for money, not for the stock market, but for my name, because I saw this article in the Daily Mail this week, and they're like, the popular names from all of our days, whether you're Gen Z, millennium, whether you're a millennial, whether you're a Gen X, whether you're a boomer, all those popular names from that time plummeting in popularity.
Oh.
And I put in my name on this baby name tracker thing that Daily Mail launched, and man, Sean is at record lows.
Jeez. Oh, buddy.
Sean, SHAWN, is like, oh my God, no one is using this anymore. And the names that are popping up more and more have gotten more extravagant. It's like Snowball and Kalishiko.
Snowball.
Caribimo and Dacadore and like all these strange names that parents are going with now. Like let's put a very traditional one for C-Lane. Chris, all right? Chris, a boy's name spelled your way. Down. It's been a little higher than it has been, but and not quite as big of a downfall as mine.
What about Christopher?
Christopher, because that's your full name. Let's try that out. Okay, Christopher. Why don't they give me that option? Hang on. Christopher Boy.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Huge. Yeah.
Chris is doing better than Christopher.
Yeah. Christopher is on an absolute downslide right now.
All right, hit me.
Okay, here, let's Sabrina, girl.
I think I've only met I don't know, maybe a handful and a half. Oh, wow.
Not good. You've at least flattened out. Sabrina's at least flattened out because of maybe cultural things.
The shirt I'm wearing.
The graph for your name has gone from very, very popular to new.
When was it popular? What was the year?
The most popular year was in 1997.
Huh.
1996
My mom
and
was ahead of the
1997.
game.
When were you born? 95?
Jesus Christ.
94?
No.
92. 89. 90. That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you're old.
Okay, so that little flat, the flat peak there, the 96, 97, right?
Yeah, right.
That would be when Sabrina the Teenage Witch was out.
No way. Really? So that's when this whole thing peaked.
I was named after the supporting Charlie's Angel. Not Farrah Fawcett, but the other character apparently was named Sabrina.
Well, there was another reboot of the Sabrina thing, which maybe tried to bring it back. Maybe that's why it's stabilized in the last couple of years. But these names that were huge have just absolutely plummeted. This says search tool reveals American names are going extinct in and the most popular in every state. Hang on, Celine, I'm going to send this to the group chat. Maybe while I'm blabbing and yapping, you could put this up on See It Now so folks can try theirs out, because it's kind of astonishing how all the classical names like Jessica, Samantha, they're way out of the top 100. Nobody's doing that anymore. All those names are absolutely tanking. Liam is a big one. Noah, Oliver, and James, but those haven't been popular for a super long time.
What are the most unique ones? Well, I guess would be unique to us, but apparently very popular and will not be unique anymore.
Tell me where this is coming from, because I'll give you some of these names and we'll see if we can figure it out. Kaylee, Kaeli. Never seen that spelling before.
K-E what?
Kaeli, and I'm pronouncing that Kaylee. Elitzel.
That's
Emrin, Adara, Azari, Kaya, Ivy, Ainara, Aurelie, and Scotty. Scotty hanging in there, man.
Good job, Scotty.
Girl Scotty. Oh, it is Girl Scotty. You're right, yeah. Boy's name's Isiel Chosen with a Z, Chozen. That's a popular child's name right now. Chosen, Chozen. Eden, Eiden. Cassian, Kyron, Samaj, Kaizen, Kair, Jamir, Josiah.
All from.
I wonder.
It sounds like they're all rooted in from the same place.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like I can't pin this on anybody. I can't be like these are black families or these are Jew families or these are like.
I can't. Like, the only thing I could try and think of is what's culturally going on, and Cassian. I wonder if it has anything to do with the Star Wars universe.
Oh, is that a character in Star Wars? Cassian?
Cassian Andor.
Yeah, it's just everybody's getting a lot more creative. Sealand's going to put this up on See It Now so you can take a peek and see how your name has fared over time. But there's been such a crazy switch up in all of these over time. Windy, Precise, Pluto.
Precise.
Pluto is the name that's popping
Uranus?
off right now.
No Uranus yet?
Not on here just yet, but we'll keep an eye on it for sure. Sealand said there was an event at a baseball game this past, well, it was earlier this week, I think.
I think it was Monday
night. And you're not supposed to do this. Somebody flew a drone onto the baseball field, which, what are the rules here? Do they specifically tell you, like, no drones near baseball field stadiums?
You're not supposed to fly within 3 miles of a stadium during a major sporting event.
All right.
NFL, MLB, like that's, I think if I went into my app right now and it said, like, I want to fly here, it would go, hey, well, you know, it gives you a list of things nearby to look out for. Sometimes it's like, hey, you can't fly here because of this. But sometimes it's like, hey, there's a stadium here. You know, you need to make sure that there's not an event with a certain amount of people or a major sporting thing.
What's the or what though, C-Lane? Like, if you do this, you take your drone, you fly it over to a baseball game, and this happens. Big penalty, jail time.
I don't know about jail time. I think you could just risk losing your license or maybe just a hefty fine.
All right, let's see what happened here. This was on the field, and a drone comes down, and the bat boy gets the drone. The bat boy putting in overtime.
And I think we've got a airspace invader.
An airspace invader.
Okay.
That's how he's pitched this.
Got it.
I think we have an airspace invader right now. Do they show it? I want to see if they actually go over to where this happened, because they don't want to a lot of times turn the camera. Oh, there it is. That's the bat boy. He's got a drone in his hand. Does that person have to be inside the stadium, or could they be a ways away flying that, you think?
They could be a ways away. It's an open air stadium, so the likelihood that the radio signal would reach that far, very, very likely.
But depends on how expensive it is, right? Like, if he's far away, maybe a mile, and it's reaching the stadium, that means he put some money into it?
No. I mean, that could be, the thing he's holding right there could be straight out of the box. I mean, there's no enhancements to it. It looks like it could be anywhere from $600 to $1,200.
He's grabbed this drone.
There it is. They got it. Stewie.
Still spinning.
Stewie fouled him to the wrist.
And Sealand said there was an article where they said the drone attempted to fly away with the bat boy.
Yeah, I don't know what journalist thought this was a thing, or maybe the bat boy claimed this, but they said it tried to lift him into the air.
Okay, yeah, cannot lift him.
No, it can't. And it may have tried to get away. I mean, when he's grabbing it like that, even if the person takes their hands off the controls, the aircraft is trying to make up for what's going on, like it would if the wind like kicked up or something. It would be trying to compensate for things that are happening to it. What he probably doesn't know, that if that's a certain number of models, all he would have to do is flip that thing upside down and the rotors would stop.
Oh, would? It would shut down? But I'm looking at this thing, and when they say that is trying to pick the bat boy up off the ground, I think it might have a shot at picking Carl up off the ground, Sabrina's dog.
Oh.
But that's about the extent of what one of these drones could pick up. Oh,
I don't know
Carl.
if he's ready for that.
Does Carl have a harness?
Yeah, he has a harness.
I'll get him one for this.
Yeah, just
he's going to lose his
I don't
mind.
wanna- yeah, and also, what if you lose Carl?
Yeah.
I'm not going to fly him, over to Lake Eola.
God, that
What
would
if you
freak
fly
him
him up
out,
in the
man.
air and then all of a sudden an eagle or a hawk intercepts Carl a couple of feet off the ground or
Then we
something?
will have the big enough drone to lift me up, and I could battle the hawk in the sky
This is going to be
over
tough.
my dead body.
Yeah.
And
We're
it
setting
takes
up
my
some
baby
problems.
boy.
It says on ESPN, when a drone suddenly appeared near the left field wall at Sutter Health Park Monday night, veteran athletics bat boy Stuart Thalblom decided to help thwart it.
Mm-hmm.
The drone tried to lift him off the grass,
Right.
but
did it?
Thalblom used a bat and brought it down, careful not to cut himself with the spinning blades.
Here he is. Here's the bat boy talking about fighting the drone.
I think for me it was just like I didn't want to cut my fingers off. Like I always see that on the news, people hurt themselves when it's hovering or whatever.
What's
in their
the
hand,
light count?
He's not the smartest bat boy, but he's a kid, for God's sake, all right?
And so I was I tried to catch it by the bottom, and it was there for me. So I just grabbed it, and then I just started whacking the
Got it.
what do you call them? The wings of it, basically with the bat, just to.
They're like, we got an exclusive interview with the bat boy who fought off the drone. Give me the rundown. Well, drone was flying over my head.
Unrelated, it took me about 4 months to grow this sweet mustache on.
Look at that stash, buddy. When I was 15, I'd have been happy with that mustache. I've been thinking, I look so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And still to this day, I've never grown a mustache out.
I know
would
you
feel-
won't. This would be the time where we're try it out. And you said
Yeah.
no, because it's different colors.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't like hair on my face, okay? It's never going to work out for me, I don't think.
Ladies.
Hey, we didn't try Jackson's name. Is that on the climb up? Or is that on the
Give it a
come down?
whirl.
All right, let me put this into the machinery here and see what they have for Jackson. The link is up over on thenewsjunkie.com in the See It Now section. Just click it. Oh, Jackson was very popular. It's coming down just a little bit from its highs. Let's back
Where
up.
was the height? 2010,
The
2015?
height was 2012.
All right.
2012, 2013, it started to come down a little bit. And now it's still very popular. Not nearly as popular as it was, though, just a handful of years ago. This is getting all of the names from the Social Security Administration. That's how they determine how popular all this stuff is. And everybody wants a fresh, fun name for their kids. Nobody wants to name a kid Gertrude. Nobody wants to name a kid. I don't even think there's any Hanks anymore. Even though those would be the perfect names to bring back. Bring back Gertrude. Right now is the best time.
I think my friend has a kid named Hank.
Yeah?
I think it was a Hank
Hill?
Williams. Hank Williams was more the inspiration for that.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Mark and Tino email the show. Hi, junkies. I drive a fuel truck for a living and listen every day.
Thank you.
For the last week, I've been training a new employee named Tino to take over my truck so I can move into a new one.
Hey, Tino.
I explained dispatches and emails to him. It's so unique to actually interact with a radio program in real time. With that said, Sean, could you please pick us for Fritz on the Street? Live long and prosper, Mark and Tino.
Oh, yeah.
Damn you, Mark. Damn you, Tino. Good timing. I like the story. It was a forced share of the show. I'll print it out. You're in contention for possibly
Not even
being
writing
on
it
Fritz on
down.
the
Get
Street.
the whole ink deal.
I'll forget.
Here's
if I
the
don't
thing.
actually print it out, I'll forget.
You have to pick one of them, Mark or Tino.
Mark or Tino. Mark or Tino.
That'll be a game time decision.
I
That'll
like
be a game
Tino.
time decision.
It's a fun name.
Yeah.
Put Tino in that little system there.
Tino? Let me see. Hang on. Let me see what we got here.
Whoever has a more popular name gets the pick.
Who's it going to be, Mark or Tino? What do you think? Before I put this in, I'll put it in right now. It's M-A-R-K, I believe.
I don't know. Mark
I think Mark. I think Tino's short for something, and
I think Tino's very unique.
All right. Mark Boy.
That would make it unpopular.
Yikes. Mark Boy, as of the latest numbers, 1,386 is what this is at. Way down from Mark. What about Tino compared to 1,386? Tino Boy. Don't even have a girl option
look
for
at
you.
that.
Oh,
that's all over
bad.
the place.
It's at 18. Tino, your name.
It doesn't have a big swoop. We
I
tried.
know. It's because barely anybody's using the name to begin with. Tino, you may be the only Tino out there listening right now.
Pick Tino.
Damn. Or is he a Valentino, somebody's saying? That could be the case.
Well, he
You're
goes
right.
by Tino.
Valentino, boy, would be much better. But still, you're going to be bested out, and Mark would be the pick. We'll see. We'll make all these decisions in due time here. Tell us what you think and give it a try yourself. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Check out the See It Now section for the link to use that tool. When we return, we'll hear from you with some of your dispatches and dissents and otherwise. We'll talk about tariffs eventually. We got the next episode coming up in a bit. Yeah. We got Fritz on the Street coming up in a bit. Yeah. We got a lot of stuff for you, and it's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Fellas, texters are blowing us up right now. We're getting more texts than we ever have. They're affirming Russ's statement that fried bologna absolutely looks like boobs. Yes.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real radio 104.1.
There's slowdowns on Orange Blossom Trail near the Ramp Junction where Florida's Turnpike and the Beach Line meet, and delays at the intersection where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway. Traffic's still slowing down on I-4 through that Champions Gate area and between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. Road surface repairs continue, blocking all the express lanes on State Road 429 southbound at Independence Toll Plaza. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by True Green.
We're back in the miller's yard who now use True Green. Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stuff.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Real Radio has your chance to win a dream home makeover. Brought to you by Fairwinds Credit Union. Up for grabs is the ultimate backyard from Orlando Backyard Living. Win a roof from Eustis Roofing, solar from Solar Source, or a cooling system from Mills Air. Get more details and enter all 4 of these contests by going to realradio.fm/contests.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
With spring just around the corner, Invisible Fence brand doesn't want you to be left behind. Give your dog the freedom and confidence they deserve now with an Invisible Fence system. Invisible Fence works in any weather, giving you confidence in your pet's safety at all times. Our pet professionals are experts at customizing solutions to your yard, your needs, and your dog's wants. Let us help you take full advantage of springtime when it's here. Spring into action and visit invisiblefence.com to learn more.
Are you hiding your smile because of missing or damaged teeth? Solid Bite can help. With the latest techniques and technology, you'll be showing off your smile in no time. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now to receive your free booklet. 321-259-8000.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
What is the cost of doing nothing? I don't know about you, but these months are the highest power bills of the year, and it's making me think about the years I spent without Solar Source. I'm so glad I finally have Solar Source. I started with the pool heated solar, and I love it. Thrilled that Solar Source now has a pay-as-you-go system where I can save each month starting at just $99. Want to add the battery backup system for your home? Our pay-as-you-go plan works the same. Start with a small battery that provides critical backup power for your lights and your refrigerator, and then it does all these small loads, and then you could stack them and add more energy as time goes on. It's Solar Source.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Sunnyside drains.
Water is backing up from my drains, and there's a nasty smell coming from them.
Ooh-wee, that is bad.
Wait, how are you smelling it too?
You should call someone about that.
I should have called Frank Gay.
Blech.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your drains are backed up, you need a highly skilled technician who's not afraid to get a little dirty. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Ready to give up the bottle, drinking too much, and ready for a change? Dr. Robert Malpas with CNS Healthcare in Orlando is seeking adults ages 18 to 65 who regularly consume large amounts of alcohol to take part in a medication research study. If you're ready to make a change, call CNS Healthcare at 407-425-5100 today to learn more about this research study for those who desire to drink less. Or go to cnshealthcare.com to schedule a free consultation.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at thatmortgagguydon.com.
Thatmortgagguydon.com.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
It all started with a bracket full of dreams. And soon, one team will cut down the nets. College hoops are in the spotlight and have everyone talking.
You think you know what's going to happen, but it never goes as scripted.
Lock in Fox Sports Radio is your number one preset on the iHeartRadio app for the hottest takes, biggest interviews, and complete coverage. Plus, binge on-demand podcast for more coverage like Good Game with Sarah Spain.
Basketball, and more basketball.
Search college basketball on the iHeartRadio app and listen now.
Watching the world burn with some friends since 2007. This
You can unlock secret shows for just $2.99 a month for the uncensored shows. Learn more at thenewsjunkie.com. Thenewsjunkie with an IE.com. Okay, get into a couple of emails here real quick. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Didn't know this was the case, but this is kind of interesting. We talked briefly yesterday that everybody's in a panic, and I love when this happens because generally there's going to be a big change, and they go, okay, we'll give you 10 years to get ready for this big change. And then when the big change finally comes, everybody goes, what the hell? We didn't have enough time to get ready for this. The current version of that is the switch over to Real ID. And the time is ticking on this. And basically, if you don't take out your license, your driver's license for your wallet, and see a little star on it, which is the indicator that you have a real ID. It should say something about real ID, and you have a star on your driver's license. If you don't have that, in about a month's time, you literally can't fly. You're not going to be able to board planes. You're not going to be able to
use
TSA.
a passport, right?
You could use a passport, but you cannot fly with that, with your driver's license, if it's not a real ID. And they've been slow rolling this for a long time, right? Until they got right to the finish line here. And now people are panicking. Oh, my God.
It's very easy to do.
It doesn't
I guess
take long.
It depends on, like, for me, I got a notification from Delta because that's what I fly often and in my app. I think the last time I flew was like, here are the check-in things and Real ID's coming up, so might as well do it now. So I'm already registered for it, and it was taking a picture of my ID.
Yeah, mine is all good,
2
too.
seconds.
I think mine just happened when I renewed my license or something. I don't even know if I had to do anything physically for it.
Like, I don't have, physically on my card, I don't have the star.
Oh,
I just
mine
have
does.
the thing on my phone.
No, mine has it actually on my license, which I renewed maybe 5 years ago or something, or maybe a little longer.
What's on your phone, Sabrina?
On my phone is like, it says Real ID, so I can like scan my ticket like I usually would instead of printing anything out, and then it has the information of my Real ID on there.
Wait, what does? Do you have like a
My
digital
Delta
version
app.
of your license?
Yeah, that's what it told me to do.
I don't know if that's right, because the actual Real ID program is one
I'm in
done
panic
by
now.
It's done by all the states with the driver's licenses, and if you're in Florida or New York or wherever, you have to update your driver's license depending on how old it is, or take it out and take a peek and see if you got that star on it. And if you don't, in a month, you won't be able to board a domestic flight.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's Sea Lanes right there. That little star in the top corner of the ID, that's what shows you.
Really blurry because I'm trying not to.
Yeah, he doesn't want to show you the rest of his details. But that's it. That's what it is. And Phil emails about this. He says, the next renewal for Florida driver's licenses will give every driver a new ID number.
That's true.
I've had this number since
I've had mine memorized.
I've had this number since the 1990s, and now I'm going to be getting a new one. You have it memorized, Sabrina?
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
I don't at all.
And I always knew that within your that number, there is your birth year. And so thought that was like always very helpful for a security job that I had.
We talked about this before, that when I moved and I got a new ID because I changed my address, they changed my driver's license number, and that had never happened before. The old driver's licenses had kind of a code that you could decipher who the person was, or if you knew enough about the person, you could like figure out pretty close to their driver's license number, if not exactly what their driver's license number was. Right. There's a name for it. I know somebody's going to text in. I think it's Evil Eye, because I think he texted about it last time. That there was like a name for what this code is, where it's converting numbers to the first couple letters of your first name.
Yeah.
But they did away with all that, and now they're...
And your birth year, too. Your birth year was one of the things
Correct,
in there.
but now my birth year's not in it at all. The place where my birth year used to be says 92 now.
Oh, it just act like you were born in 92 then. You got a couple extra years now. Feel better about it.
92.
This is what's going to suck more than anything else, Phil says. The Real ID I've had for years, this change is worse than any of it, and I never hear anybody talk about it, he said. And he sends along the thing that says, customers renewing or replacing their license or identification cards in person will be issued a new number. And that's true. Just, I'm saying in my case, like, I didn't memorize that. That's going to have no impact on me personally. Unfortunately, I guess it will for you. Night Nurse emails and is talking about, I don't know what. We'll see. Night Nurse says, I worked day shift in a smaller hospital in labor and delivery. It was April Fool's and time to change. So we all called in and said we would be late because we didn't change our clocks. It was good when we first did it, but by the third nurse, they were not happy with us. We got caught laughing in the locker room before we could walk out. Another time, a nurse put a urine specimen on the counter and then undid the lid and started drinking it. It was apple juice. With a crowd of nurses together, it made us laugh. Thanks, Sean. Thank you, Night Nurse, for the email. Appreciate that. You can send yours tips at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, before we get to a couple of dispatches and then figure out what's coming up on the next episode, a disturbing national trend is targeting kids. They say it's come to light in recent days. And now South Carolina's top prosecutor is sounding the alarm. South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson wants to warn parents about gore-seeking trends. That sounds bad. Gore-seeking? where groups are encouraging kids to harm themselves on camera so they can sell the content. Jesus. They said groups have targeted kids on sites like Minecraft, Discord, Roblox. Reported victims have been as young as 8. Again, I question whether this is actually a big thing. It's like the blue whale thing that was going on for a while. It was one person or two people that were doing it, and they acted like there was this huge trend of this happening. But indeed, it's a good time to tell your kids, hey, be careful out there. Watch who you're talking to online. And maybe more importantly, watch you, who your kids are talking to online. Over on the email, one more to get to. HM emails tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And he says, Axel Rudacubana, who stabbed the people at the Taylor Swift theme party, was an 18-year-old who was born in the UK. The director stated he saw multiple stories of child murderers in the UK, one of which was the murder of James Bulger. No migrants involved. He actually mentioned in particular, I think, the Ava White stabbing. I think that was one of the ones that they said, and they've hidden all the information on the perpetrator there. But when you look at the last decade or more in the UK, especially with youth, it is not white British kids that are responsible for the vast majority of the knife crime in the UK. And that is what was alleged to have been the impetus for them making this adolescent show. So it would be like making a school shooting show in the United States of America and making it like a little black kid who goes in and shoots up the school. You go, wait, why did you make that choice? That seems a little weird. And are there some black kids who would fit that bill and it makes sense? Sure, but like, why aren't you using the more obvious end? Well, the answer is you're not using it because it wouldn't be socially acceptable in this case. It's not, it's like wrong think is exactly what it is. All right, let's go over to these dispatches. I promised one or two. Let's work them in right now. Here we go. Let's check out Smackerel talking about something in Jacksonville. Hello.
Hey, what's up, junkies?
Hey.
About the stabbing, we had up in Jacksonville something like this. A teenage girl was out late at night with a friend, and her name was Tristan Bailey. And he stabbed her like 114 times.
What?
It's been about 3 years ago. But anyway, it's something worth looking into if you want to see something really unusual. But
no, I don't.
That's about it. Oh, C-Lane, pick me for Fritz on the street if you ain't got somebody already.
There you go. It's out to him. He's made aware. He knows. He's not acknowledging you, but he knows, Smackerel, that you've been shouting him out. That'll have to do it for right now.
Who? Who is it?
Smackerel.
Oh.
Smackerel is his name. I don't want to do this one because this popcorn fight character, or popcorn fart, it is.
Oh, yeah, popcorn fart.
Yeah, this person, I don't know. It's probably like a windy dispatch.
He's a real loose cannon.
He is, yeah.
Yoski Chodes, apologies for the wind.
Oh, wait, you knew that.
I knew
but
it.
yeah, I don't know if you guys heard. I wanted to leave this dispatch early, right as the show started. I mean, I'm sure you heard. You are the news junkie after all. But Val Kilmer, actually, 100% fine. All well and good.
No, he's
Doesn't
not.
even have cancer anymore, guys. It's fake news. April Fools, Val Kilmer, dead AF.
Wow.
Tip your Batman.
What a ride, popcorn fart. What an absolute ride to go on. And a lot of people were chiming in about their favorite Val Kilmer movies when that came across, because that's what we do. But Top Gun is the one that he just gets stuck with every time, because that was such a classic role.
He did recently where they like kind of CGI'd him talking because
that was Top Gun.
Oh, there's a new Top Gun.
Yeah, the Maverick. Remember the Maverick one that came out when he was in that? It was big.
It wasn't CGI. He was just like typing into a computer and showing it to Tom Cruise or something like that.
I thought they had done something that because it looked weird. Something would happen. I don't know.
They involved him for sure. The unspoken hero movie from Val Kilmer, you guys probably haven't seen this, but it's a little film called Top Secret, which is just a true classic. Nobody talks about this one. Yeah, it's a cow with boots is on the cover of this. Hang on, where's the other? The other cover is even better. It's so small. I'm sorry. It's Val Kilmer with flying cows all around him. It looks like an instant classic.
Yeah, something like that.
For me, Val Kilmer was one of my first Batmans.
Is he was in Batman Forever?
Yeah, with Nicole Kidman and Chris O'Donnell, and when Jim Carrey was the Riddler.
Real genius. He was in a movie I really did actually like, Deja Vu. That was a classic because I'm a huge fan of what's his name from Deja Vu. Hang on, I'll get it. Give me a second. Denzel Washington. Washington is in Deja Vu. It's super good. Yeah, I love almost all of his movies, but that's a particular good one. And Val Kilmer was in that as well. All right, when we come back, we'll get to your dispatches. Those will be pushed a little bit after, probably Fritz on the Street that's coming up. But before that, it is the next episode. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Shia LaBeouf is making headlines for his new experimental acting school where he's allegedly getting Shia LaBeouf, as in physically violent. Old news, Maury Povich spent decades revealing baby daddies. Weird-ass news, Maury shares his sex schedule at 80 years old. Plus, another day, another Diddy accuser, but this one is looping in the most random, legendary music icon. Find out who, and so much more, coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. At 9, it's Real Laughs, followed by Real Music Weekends at 10 on Real Radio 104.1 and on your free iHeartRadio app.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast for our Wednesday. And for today, we are going to be expecting a couple of areas of patchy dense fog throughout the morning hours, but that will give way to increasing sunshine and some very hot temperatures through the course of this afternoon. We'll be expecting highs back into the upper 80s and low 90s, high around 90 degrees today in Orlando. And we'll be expecting a good amount of sunshine, staying mostly dry. The 90s last all the way into the weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by FreshFromFlorida.com.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting FreshFromFlorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Going to nursing school can change your life, but that doesn't mean it's easy. You have commitments, family, a job. At Galen College of Nursing, we understand that, which is why we provide one-to-one tutoring support and assigned academic advisors who will work with you to keep you on track from day one. You can change the course of your life and the lives of people counting on you. Because we believe the better we care for nursing students now, the brighter the future of nursing will be. Galen, the now approach to nursing education. Join us at galencollege.edu.
Permanent injuries may not appear immediately after an accident. That's why the insurance company wants to settle with you quickly. They want you to sign away your claim before you even know the full extent of your injuries. Don't accept pennies on the dollar. Never sign anything until you speak with me. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO.
At Florida Prepaid, we're here for all the grinders, the go-getters, the gifted, the talented, the unique, the spirited. We're here for the well-to-do, the just getting started, the budgeters, the big spenders, and everyone in between. Because we believe that every child deserves higher education, and our goal is to help families save for it by making it simpler and more affordable than ever before. So every child has the opportunity to shine. Plans start at just $29 a month.
Let's go, Mike. Mr. Moore emails the show. And Mr. Moore says, can you please keep the skull mic on during breaks? The lullaby ad and the future health ads are so bad. I haven't heard either one of those, if I'm honest with you. But that's not new. Like right now, I can barely hear the commercials at all in the studio, so I don't really keep up with what's happening with those. But a lullaby ad and the future health ads, not great, according to Mr. Moore. Do we want more skull mic or less skull mic? I feel like we have a good amount of skull mic. You know? I feel like this is an appropriate amount of skull mic. More or less? Snoop Frog says, when does Sean get to eat lunch? Same time every day, my guy. Same time every single day. 3:30 p.m., first meal of the day, and almost always the same exact thing. I switch it up for every other meal, but obviously I have rotation. But for lunch, I have the same meal, sticky rice and chicken every single day with a bag of pretzels. Great, simple, beautiful, amazing lunch. Love it. Uh-oh. We're coming back now.
Believe in the power of music. All your favorite artists, all in one place. The free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to vaxassist.com and schedule today. That's vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 104.1.
High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom.
The next episode coming up in just a moment. All things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. We'll see what we can expect on that in just a second here. We'll also get to more of your dispatches. Oh, Fritz has entered the building. Nice.
Banana.
There he is. The one and only Fritz has arrived, so we'll be getting into some Fritz on the Street fun before too long.
Oh, are we doing that today? Just kidding, of course.
I sure hope so. All right, for now, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, you can't possibly keep up with all of it. Even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Boom! I'm horny.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey,
Smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com. That's the website. And that's where you get a life change because you're working with someone who's looking out for you. And that's That Mortgage Guy Don. Refinancing, buying your first dream home, debt consolidation, starting a business, expanding your business, and everything in between. Just work with someone who's looking out for you. And that's That Mortgage Guy Don.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with That Mortgage Guy Don.com.
Life change.
It was 36 years ago, 1989, the mega powers that be came together for WrestleMania 5.
Yeah. That sounded like Sean doing his best Netflix impression.
Dun, dun, dun. WrestleMania 5, and Fritz, I know you're busy right now, but 3 points on the board for you. Hulk Hogan versus whom?
WrestleMania 5, that would be
WWF
Ultimate
title.
Warrior.
That is incorrect.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
That is correct. Yes.
Nice.
And for 3 more points, whose heart were they fighting for?
Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth is also correct. Yeah, Hogan.
Brit.
Hogan won both Elizabeth's heart and the battle at WrestleMania 5.
The winner got a woman?
Yes, Miss Elizabeth.
It was a long time ago, Celia. Things used to be different.
Exactly. And just to update everybody, both Randy and Elizabeth are dead.
Oh, damn.
And then on the same day, but I guess 6 years later, we had what history calls the worst WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 11. Football legend / what this is calling crackhead, Lawrence Taylor defeated Bam Bam Bigelow in the main event.
Oh, yeah. Lawrence Taylor was awesome.
He's very problematic.
Did he like crack, though?
Yeah, there's a story about Lawrence Taylor where I believe it was him, where his opponents used to try to mess with him, and they'd send like hookers to his hotel room with drugs.
Oh, okay.
So the next day for
prank.
That's what I should have done for April Fool's Day.
Like the next day for the football game, he'd be waking up late and he'd be like all hungover from doing drugs and stuff.
Hookers.
Very effective.
Also, effective is really not the word. It's just it doesn't stop, my friends. We have yet another Diddy accuser in the mix, but this is kind of interesting on who is now involved. This new Diddy accuser claims he was sexually assaulted, raped, and humiliated at one of the freak-off parties in Miami.
Damn, Jesus.
He is also claiming that Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron James, and this lady,
Gloria Estefan,
saw him in rough shape.
Really? And did nothing?
I'm like, Gloria had a freak-off or something.
I don't know about this.
He's being sued for human trafficking by a Florida man named Manzado Joseph. Claims Diddy humiliated him at a April 2015, birthday party for LeBron by strapping a penis to his face and parading him around.
No, you're not allowed to do that?
A human penis? Or
it doesn't.
What happened to this country?
say.
You used to be able to win women in wrestling matches.
Okay, then put a penis on your face. Put a fake penis on your face and parade around.
During the show? What am I going to do after the show if I do that during the show?
What's Act 2?
Awkward conversation with Courtney. I don't know. Manzaro claims he was drugged, transported to Star Island in Miami for the big party in April of 2015. He says he was first dragged into the back entrance of Emilio and Gloria's mansion, where he panicked. Gloria saw that his drug-induced stupor and demanded someone call an ambulance. And the lawsuit goes on and on and on of very detailed but obscure claims. So far, he is going after Diddy, Emilio, Audria, and Diddy's alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul, among others. He's suing them for human trafficking and seeking damages.
Might I ask a really dopey question?
What up?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail, but the song Conga by Gloria Estefan.
Come and shake your body, baby, do the conga.
Is that the only conga line song, or was that like just
no?
Buddy,
okay.
Dexter.
Whoa! I admitted it was a problem. I just all right, okay.
We're not coming at you, but learn your lesson.
So conga lines were a thing, and then this was kind of trying to strike while the iron was hot on the conga line thing.
Conga was before, like Gloria's conga was.
Because I think conga line, I think feeling hot.
Yeah,
and
Buster Poindexter.
That Buster Poindexter is probably after Gloria Estefan, I would guess.
Yeah. I mean, the music video for conga did not have like a wedding party and one line throughout it. So
nobody was doing a conga line?
People were inspired after the fact.
All right.
And that's all I have for you. I do have an update on this guy. It's been a minute since he was in the news, so why not be in the news for being aggressive?
All right.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf is right in a new film, full film, claiming to show actor Shia LaBeouf displaying physical violence and intimidation towards students of his own acting school. Open enrollment starts next week. The documentary called Slauson Rec, named after the Slauson Recreation Center in L.A., where LaBeouf held his school from 2018 to 2020. Director Leo Lewis O'Neill told Vanity Fair that the film was made from 800 hours of footage, claiming the Transformers star gave him a camera when he joined the class, told him to film everything that happened. And then I guess Shia LaBeouf was like, come at me, bro. Just do it. And it's and no one, I guess, went to the police or suing civilly. They're just going to put it in this new film, Slauson.
It's really close to Wallen.
I do not dislike Shia LaBeouf as an actor or a person.
I just saw Peanut Butter Falcon for the first time.
How was that?
Really
that's the one with him and the young kid who's got like developmental disabilities or whatever.
Down syndrome.
Yeah.
I do, when I hear that he had an acting school, I go, you really tried to make it by going to Shia LaBeouf acting school?
I would go.
He's a
I think
good
he's a good
actor.
Yeah,
Have you seen Even Stevens?
I unironically like him. Is he really a terrible person? I don't know. I don't know enough about him to know that, but I
guess we'll see when Sloss and Wreck comes out.
I like the show of Shia LaBeouf. At least he's giving us something.
But to think that if you attended Shia LaBeouf acting school and it was like this stereotypical, abusive teacher, like, you're never going to make it.
Keep going. Try
it seems kind of like
do it.
Borat comedy school in a way. It's like very, very strange way to learn things.
Now we're talking, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Not.
You know who's not having sex?
Who?
Maury Povich.
He's getting laid?
He's telling the world
not
about
having
it.
sex. So he is having sex.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Segue. Maury Povich has never revealed the father or his father. This is my intro into...
That's weird.
There's someone in his life still calling him daddy, and that's his wife, Connie Chung. On Sundays anyways. Because guess what? Maury just launched. This is crazy. Celebrity's never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah. Yep, he's walking so we could all run. He
Finally checked that off the bucket list, did you, Maury?
launched his podcast on par with Maury Povich, and he was joined by Connie, his wife. And first episode, she asked him when he feels sexiest, and he replied, I feel sexiest on Sunday.
Yeah. I have a question for Connie Chung.
Well, I'm sorry.
There used to be, I've talked about this on the show. My dad and the rumor about Connie Chung. You know, Richard Gere has a rumor. There was a Connie Chung rumor too.
This is the first I'll hear of this rumor.
I thought I talked about this before. There used to be, my dad would tell me, "Oh yeah, that's Connie Chung," and he kind of like raised his eyebrows, and I'd be like, "What?" And he said, "Well, the rumor is she can crush a beer can with her butt cheeks." And I said, "I have no idea what that means."
Please start that rumor about me. Means you have a strong buttocks.
Wait, an empty one or a completely full, unopened can?
I don't know. Damn, if it's full, Fritz, we better ask lots of questions about this. But if she could do it, I never thought of it as a bad thing. I always thought, damn, it's
impressive.
It's impressive, yeah.
But I don't know if, you'd want to try backdoor stuff after hearing that.
She'll shut you right out.
Say bye to your pee-pee.
Yeah.
So yeah, they shared with the entire world. Now I'm sharing with you that they have a sex schedule of every Sunday, and not in their house. They try to find different places to bang.
Oh. I do that too. Yeah, I do that too. I go around the neighborhood and just pick a spot and
pick a pile. Just
a pile or a spot, either one.
He's 86, she's 78, and she is now rumored to crush a can with her booty. And with that, I guess I shall leave you with Zip Boop Chip Baby. Yeah! We have Survivor on CBS, The Connors on ABC, Celebrity Jeopardy with Margaret Cho and Jackie Tong.
Margaret Cho slayed Celebrity Jeopardy.
Is this part two or something?
This is probably the semifinal or something. But in the quarterfinals, she dominated.
That's impressive.
Third season premiere of Love on the Spectrum, and you can catch Rob Delaney on Myers. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra, and also still need a representative for Fritz on the Street. Hit me up on Instagram and follow your
dreams.
Follow me on Instagram.
Follow
Say
your
it
dreams
with me,
and me.
America.
Smoke weed every day.
Excellent dismount. Just perfect in every
now
way.
put a beer can in my butt cheeks.
Our very own Jeopardy round here is a little game we like to call Fritz on the Street.
Let's go.
And the showdown continues when we return. In this corner, wearing the reddish shirt, and at a cool 181 pounds, all muscle, and very, very attractive, Sean Wasson. I will be picking somebody here momentarily.
Some of that is true.
I don't even think the red shirt thing was true, honestly. I didn't get much of any honesty in that one. It's ish.
All right, it's a red shirt colorblind, though.
Myself, Sabrina, and C-Lane will be facing off in Fritz on the Street in just moments. And here's how it works. We will represent you. One of us will represent you, perhaps, in Fritz on the Street. And if we win, you win. You get your hands on this very exclusive Hitman, FOTS Hitman magnet. You can see the whole collection of magnets for game magnets at thenewsjunkie.com. But I'll pick somebody. Sabrina was going to pick somebody. C-Lane's going to pick somebody on chat, on Instagram. Just get our attention somewhere online. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Westwood One's coverage of March Madness resumes Saturday with a Final Four as Duke faces Houston and Auburn meets Florida. Coverage starts at 4 p.m. right here on Real Radio 104.1 and our free iHeartRadio app, and is presented by Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law, clausmanlaw.com.
There's a serious accident on State Road 436 approaching I-4. Move over and slow down if you see police activity or emergency vehicles on the roadways. Traffic slowing down on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535, and construction continues, blocking the express lanes of State Road 429 southbound approaching Independence Toll Plaza. Travel with caution on the roadways. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
Sunnyside Electric.
Hello, I need a new electrical outlet.
We are learning about pickleball today.
Okay.
Isn't that a funny name?
What about my electrical?
Pickleball.
I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, it's like miniature tennis.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you need electrical work in your home, you need a trustworthy electrician who can clearly explain how to solve any dilemma. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit Crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Do you hate litter as much as we do? We're Keep America Beautiful, and we're challenging everyone in America to pick up 25 pieces of litter between now and Earth Day. Take the pledge and join the greatest American cleanup at kab.org/greatest.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Celebrate 30 years of Tijuana Flats epic meal deals. Now, you know them for Taco Tuesday. They've made every day special now. Get Dos Tacos, chips, and a drink for only $8.88 every day.
Skull Mike, who am I picking? Fritz on the street. Who am I? Sober. Couldn't be more sober. I think tomorrow, if I don't drink tonight, tomorrow would be when I start hitting like that 70%. If I ever get up to 100, you're all screwed. I used to be there. Pico me! My ass was TOS? What happened? What did I miss? So far, I'm thinking about picking the guy from the email, but we could change that. Eddie says, don't pick me, please. Eddie, you got it, bud. I promise you I will not pick you for Fritz on the street. And now, if I win, you're going to feel real dumb. Pick Snoop? Flats Fisherman says having a gyro tonight with extra tzatziki. Let me tell you something, buddy. If you're in the 407 area code, Greek Corner, magnifique gyros. Very, very good. They also have a chicken dish on top of rice pilaf with lemons that is so good. Like delectable. Like very, 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 very good. Greek Corner is a pretty awesome spot. Lots of good restaurants right around that area. What is that, Lake Ivanhoe? If I got that right, I'm going to feel so good about myself. It's by a lake. Is it lake? I think it might be Lake Ivanhoe. Tony says, ask Mr. Predicto if I will win Fritz on the Street. Mr. Predicto, will I win Fritz on the Street?
Definitely yes.
Hell yeah. Couldn't be more excited. Am I the sexiest man on radio?
The answer is no.
Well, that's it's awkward. Okay. Now shut up. Coming back.
Funny Bone welcomes Alfred Kanga, March 4th through 6th. Check our star-studded calendar and showtimes online at orlando.funnybone.com. Full kitchen and bar available, as well as parking discounts for all guests. Relax and enjoy top-notch entertainment in an electrifying atmosphere. Don't miss your chance to laugh out loud with some of the best in the business. Follow us on all social media platforms and get your tickets now at orlando.funnybone.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. On the bright side, we're not dead yet. You're listening to the news.
And you're here for it. Play along with us. Why don't you? And here's how this works. We all play together. I play. Sabrina plays. C-Lane plays.
Fritz on the Street.
Fritz on the Street is on, and we all pick somebody to represent in the game.
Okay, sure. C-Lane, I press.
C-Lane, whatever. And I have picked my person. I've decided. After much deliberation, I've decided who I will be representing in Fritz on the Street. And the person is Mark from the email earlier. Mark, congratulations. I will be picking you for Fritz on the Street. Sabrina, what about you?
I'm going to go with Lauren from Instagram.
Lauren from Instagram. And you, C-Lane.
I'm going with Tino.
Tino.
I think Tino's gonna be the pick.
Tino from the other side of the email. They're battling each other in one vehicle driving around right now. Okay, now to the biggest question.
This is Mark and Tino's best day ever.
Yeah, like, look, they're talking about us. All right, Fritz, you ready to do this?
I am.
Here we go. Let's do Fritz on the Street.
Now it's time for Fritz on the Street.
Hello, Sean. Hello, Celia. Hello, Sabrina. Fritz on the Street, sponsored by Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 1-800-CALL-MO. That's 1-800-CALL-MO. In first place with 83 points, we have Miss Sabrina Ambra.
Who's that girl?
In second place with 77 points, we have Mr. Christopher Lane.
Yeah.
And in third place with 73 points, we have Mr. Sean Wasson.
Ooh, it's getting
So it's 83, 77, 73. Fritz on the Street, I go to the bar so you don't have to. I ask for current event questions and 4 general knowledge trivia questions, and then you guys have to decide out of 8 how many got it right.
All right.
Simple as that.
How'd it go last night?
Oh, it was a out of nowhere, a torrential downpour happened.
Oh, yeah. It got bad.
And then it stopped. So,
Took out a breaker for me.
yeah, you'll hear a lot of rain and then quiet solitude.
Oh,
But,
go watch the action live, by the way, every Tuesday over at Cavo's, and it's a great place to go. You get good food, and you get Fritz's Funhouse Trivia on Tuesday. So keep up with Fritz on social media for that.
It's always a good time. So, is everyone in?
Yes.
Yes.
Without further ado, let's kick it. Question number 1. Over 3,600 are dead after an earthquake. Sabrina?
That is Thailand.
That is incorrect.
Sean?
Malaysia? That is incorrect.
I'd like to hear the full question, please.
You got it. Over 3,600
Isn't
are
it
dead
Bible?
after an earthquake devastated parts of Thailand. In which other country?
Obviously not the one that Sean said.
Uh-huh.
Sealand, Vietnam.
That would be Myanmar. Sabrina, you are in first place. We will start with you. Out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Myanmar?
3.
3.
2.
2 for Sean.
I'm going to go 1.
And 1 for Sealane. Question 1 with answers of 1, 2, and 3. Let's see who knows their devastating, terrible earthquakes. Over 3,600 are dead after an earthquake devastated parts of Thailand. In which country?
Myanmar.
Malaysia. Myanmar. Myanmar.
Myanmar. Myanmar.
Okay.
Philippines. Miramar.
That would be 6.
You guys say Miramar?
Yep.
Miramar, Florida.
Miramax? Yeah, 6. So no points awarded on that one.
Wow.
Solid start, gentlemen.
It's all right. We still have 7 questions left. Like question number 2. How many wives did King Henry VIII have? Sabrina.
Oh, Lordy. King Henry had a bunch of wives, and the number was 14.
That is incorrect.
Sealane. 8.
That is incorrect.
Sean.
He
didn't want to have 8 because he thought 8 was an unlucky number. So
Okay.
King Henry had 9 wives.
It was 6.
Oh, man.
There's a play about it and everything. Sabrina.
I almost cursed.
Yep.
My wife saw that play.
Let's start with you. Out of 8 answers, how many do you think said 6?
How many wives again?
6 wives.
6 wives, okay. I mean, they knew about Miramar. I'm going to go with 6.
6.
3.
3 for Sealane.
5.
And 5 for Sean. Question 2 with answers of 3, 5, and 6. How many wives did King Henry VIII have?
6. 7.
6. It's a fringe show about this. I think it was called like The 7. Is it 7?
21.
9.
7. 8.
That would be 2. So Sealane with your guess of 3, picking up 1 point. We have 6 questions remaining. Question number 3. Which country did Vice President Vance travel?
Sealane. Greenland.
Greenland is correct. Full question. Which country did Vice President Vance travel to last week for some reason? Sealane, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Greenland?
7.
7.
8.
8 for Sabrina.
6.
And 6 for Sean. Question 3 with answers of 6, 7, and 8. Let's see.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, someone's picking up 2 points. Got it right on the money. Which country did Vice President Vance travel to last week for some reason?
Greenland. Greenland. Greenland.
Greenland. Greenland. Russia. Greenland.
It wasn't to Greenland, right? It was Greenland?
That would be 7. So Sealane is hitting a 3-pointer on that one. And Sean's guess of 6 and Sabrina's guess of 8, each picking up 1 point. Question 4. That's the halfway point. After question 4, I will tell you who is leading so far on the day, and that goes thusly. Fight the power! Sabrina.
Why did I say my name? Fight the power. You might not be talking about the band that I am now blanking on. Flava Flav is the person who's in Public Enemy.
No.
Yeah, you got it.
No.
He said I got it.
You got it. You got it.
Rubbish.
Fight the power was
What,
a
I can't speak out loud when I'm thinking?
You said Flava Flav as an answer.
No, I didn't. I said Flava Flav is the guy who's in Public Enemy.
Fight the Power was a 1990 hit for which hip-hop group? Sabrina, Public Enemy is correct.
PPMs
Out of
are
8
up.
answers, how many do you think said PE number 1? The greatest hip-hop group of all time.
Asterisk. 7.
7.
6.
6 for C-Lane.
5.
And 5 for Sean. Question 4, with answers of 5, 6, and 7. Let's see if anyone can fight the power. Fight the Power was a 1990 hit for which hip-hop group?
NWA? NWA?
Great.
No idea.
Public Enemy?
Oh, dude. Public Enemy.
Public Enemy.
I have no idea. Salt and pepper.
No idea. Crisscross.
That would be 3.
Crisscross fighting the power.
Salt and pepper.
No, I could see Salt and Pepper over Crisscross. 3, so no points awarded. That means in first place, with 4 questions remaining on the day, in first place, 4 points, C-Lane/Tino. And then in second place with 2 points, Sabrina/Lauren.
Solid.
And in third place with 1 point, Sean/Mark. So
Game starts
4,
now, guys.
2, and 1. Question 5 goes like this. Last week, which DHS secretary made a viral video? Sean.
Noam?
That is correct. Yeah, Kristi Noem. Full question. Last week, which DHS secretary made a viral video standing in front of prisoners in El Salvador? Sean, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Kristi Noem?
4.
4.
2.
2 for Sabby.
3.
And 3 for C-Lane. Question 5, with answers of 2, 3, and 4. Last week, which DHS secretary made a viral video standing in front of prisoners in El Salvador?
No.
Kristi Noem.
Kristi Noem.
Pass. I don't the woman though. Don't know.
Kristi Noem.
Oh, Kristi Noem.
My ass.
That would be 5.
My ass.
So Sean, with a guess of 4, picking up 1 point.
There was a my ass and a what? I don't do women what?
No, he said I don't know, but I know it's a woman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He just knew.
I thought he's like I don't do women answers and questions, so
That's
I refuse.
gay.
All right.
That's gayer than hell. Question 6. What was the first brand of toothpaste to be sold? C-Lane?
Colgate?
Colgate is correct.
All right.
C-Lane question mark, you just said.
Full question. What was the first brand of toothpaste to be sold in tubes rather than jars? C-Lane, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Colgate?
I'm going to say 6.
6.
7.
7 for Sabrina.
4.
And 4 for Sean. Question 6
Bold.
with answers of 4, 6, and 7.
Ding, 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 ding,
Give it to
ding,
me.
ding.
Someone knows their Colgate Comedy Hour. What was the first brand of toothpaste to be sold in tubes rather than jars?
Colgate.
Crest.
Colgate. Colgate.
Colgate?
I am going to guess Colgate.
Colgate. Crest.
No!
That would be 6. So C-Lane is hitting a 3-pointer. And Sabrina, with your guess of 7, picking up 1 point.
I'm going to guess Chris.
We have two questions remaining.
I mean, technically they were right, so they weren't an idiot, but
Question 7.
Just mad.
Which Democratic senator surpassed the 24-hour mark?
Sean.
Sean.
Sabrina. Sabrina.
Damn it. I know him. I could see his face right now.
Sabrina. Sabrina.
Joaquin Jeffries.
Sabrina. That is incorrect. Sabrina.
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker is correct.
That's who it is. Damn it, man.
Full question. Which Democratic senator surpassed the 24-hour mark in a marathon protest speech against President Trump's policies? It happened, I think, shortly before trivia. Sabrina, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Cory Booker?
What name did you say, Sean?
Joaquin Jeffries.
I'm going to go with 5.
5.
I'll say... Depends on how political these people are. I'll say 4.
4 for Sean?
I'll go 6.
And 6 for
Very sick
C-Lane.
guy.
Question 7 with answers of 4, 5, and 6.
Ding, 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 ding.
Who knows their filibusters? Which Democratic senator surpassed the 24-hour mark in a marathon protest speech against President Trump's policies?
Pass.
Schumer?
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker.
Go to hell, Strom Thurmond. Way to go, Cory Booker.
Pass.
Cory Booker.
With 25 hours and 9 minutes, my man Cory Booker.
That would be 5. Sabrina's hitting a 3-pointer.
Kobe.
And Sean and C-Lane with your guesses of 4 and 6, picking up 1 point each. We have one question remaining, but before we do, let's take a look at the leaderboard. In first place with 8 points, C-Lane/Tino. In second place with 6 points, Sabrina/Lauren. And in third place with 4 points, Sean/Mark. So it's 8, 6, and 4. Question 8, we've asked it before. I mean, we've asked all of these before because we have. We've asked every capital that is like
in the world.
Somebody would kind of know. Question 8, Tripoli is the capital of Sean.
Italy.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
Right.
Tripoli is the capital of which country?
Tripoli.
One more time, slower.
Tripoli.
Damn it.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I went to Tripoli, the capital of this country.
Son of a bitch.
Country of origin.
Great question.
It'd probably be Greek.
Sabrina.
Greece. That is incorrect.
Okay.
C-Lane.
C-Lane.
Spain.
That would be Libya.
Libya. Oh, yeah. I got a brain fart. My brain is garbage today.
Sabrina, you got question 7, right? We will start with you. Out of 8 answers, how many said Libya?
3.
3.
2.
2 for C-Lane.
6.
And 6 for Sean.
Okay.
What else am I going to do?
Question 8 with answers of 2, 3, and 6.
Ding, ding.
Let's see. Who knows? Tripoli is the capital of which country?
We suck today.
Libya.
Lebanon. No idea. Turkey? Italy? Pass.
Turkey?
Lebanon.
That would be 1. That means C-Lane with a guess of 2, picking up 1 point.
Son of a bitch.
And winning on the day with 9 points. Congratulations to C-Lane/Tino. In second place with 6 points, Sabrina/Lauren. And in third
Lauren.
place with 4 points, Sean/Mark. That means in first place and still leading on Fritz on the Street with 89 points, Sabrina Ambra. In second place, 3 points removed
damn it.
with 86 points, Christopher Lane. And in third place with 77 points, Sean Wasson. And that is Fritz on the Street.
Thank you, Great job. This man put himself in the middle of a torrential downpour.
Yeah,
Did you
you heard
hear
that,
that?
right?
That was something else.
I was straining my voice.
There was a point in those questions where it sounded
Protesting
like
Donald Trump's policies.
What?
So wet.
it's like his version of a hurricane broadcast on the Weather Channel or something. Fritz on the Street out there in the middle of that damn storm was rough. There you go. You nailed it, Fritz. Great job.
Who was that
Man.
guy? Jim Cantori?
My brain misfired like 5 times during that. Just not good. Not good.
All of us were not our best.
No, we didn't do our best. But there we go. It's always a fun time regardless. So our winner was, who won the whole thing? C-Lane did?
Tino.
Tino, email me.
Cool name.
Mr. Tino, email me tips@thenewsjunkie.com. We'll get you set up with that special magnet from Fritz for Game of Magnets. We have a lot to get to for the rest of the show here today and a ton of clips to go through. Fritz, are you going to come along for the ride here today?
I would love to.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we'd love to have you, and we will. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
The Jim Colbert Show. Out of context.
I am not a chocolate sucker. What I do like to do, though, is bite them in half and extrude the peanut while the shells of the M&M are dead in my mouth.
That's what it is. You're a nut sucker.
I'm not a nut sucker, Deborah.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
There's a serious accident on State Road 436 approaching I-4. Move over and slow down if you see police activity or emergency vehicles on the roadways. Traffic slowing down on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535, and construction continues, blocking the express lanes of State Road 429 southbound approaching Independence Toll Plaza. Travel with caution on the roadways. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Looking for affordable blinds, shades, or shutters for your home? Don't hire an expensive pro. Check out Blindster.com, where we offer custom-made window coverings at guaranteed low prices with a team of pros ready to help you every step of the way. Blindster.com.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Do you hate litter as much as we do? We're Keep America Beautiful, and we're challenging everyone in America to pick up 25 pieces of litter between now and Earth Day. Take the pledge and join the...
Let's go, Mike. Absolute bullshit. What do you say about that? I heard Tripoli and my brain went to Italy, which just sounds like Italy. Even though I very clearly know geography better than anybody on the show, certainly. Capitals I usually get. My excuse is generally I just don't answer fast enough. But what a poor performance on my part. No excuses. Maybe I need more water. The greatest geographer known to man. I don't know what happened, man. I generally know the capitals. I mean, there's not many times I don't know what the capital is. On account of just so many news stories and books I've read and just different things, I just tend to know the capitals, and then I completely, like a monkey fucking a football, just bludgeoned myself. AD says it's okay, Sean. You met our expectations. I don't know. I mean, what do you want to do? There's a flag on the field, anyways, right? Like, there was definitely one question that stood out where the answer didn't seem exactly right. Public Enemy. BDMX Condit says, do they cover a lot of capitals in Archie comics? I don't know. I'm sure I've read an Archie comic, but I'm not sure why you're tying that to me. I'm an avid reader of books, I'll have you know. I've read many, many, many books. Big leather-bound books. I've read Foucault. I've read very, very big thinking stuff. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm a smart man. I don't read Archie comics. It's in the Marine Corps song. I should know. I'm a veteran. I just am veteran adjacent, is what I've said. My father served in the Marines, therefore I am veteran adjacent. Or one could say a veteran. A veteran of a household of a veteran is how they usually say it. It's not official. 90 seconds. From the halls of Montezuma to the doors of Kibum. It's a banger. Vet adjacent. All right, folks, we're coming back right now. Hang tight.
Here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
It all started with a bracket full of dreams. And soon, one team will cut down the nets. College hoops are in the spotlight and have everyone talking.
You think you know what's going to happen, but it never goes as scripted.
Lock in Fox Sports Radio is your number one preset on the iHeartRadio app for the hottest takes, biggest interviews, and complete coverage. Plus, binge on-demand podcast for more coverage like Good Game with Sarah Spain.
Basketball, and more basketball.
Search college basketball on the iHeartRadio app and listen now.
Your direct line to the heroes that saved Canada that one time.
You can join us with a dispatch or an email. It's all up to you, and I'd love to hear what you have to say, what's on your mind. Whether you're raging in disagreement or absolutely nodding your head along, all those things are fine. Or if you want us to talk about something different, want to hear my take on something, hit us up with an email or dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com right now. We're talking in Fritz on the Street about Cory Booker doing this really long speech, a.k.a. a filibuster on the Senate floor.
Been a minute, right?
I don't know why people do these things. They're absolutely useless.
What does it stop? Is the intention to stop something?
It's really
usually
to kind of
bring awareness to something.
It's like to rally your base. You know, you're not doing anything. It's not nothing's being accomplished here. It's to get people to be like, wow, he's still up there and he's still speaking. And I think I'm not sure. Somebody might want to check this. I thought that the reason why this stood out because he talked for
25 hours.
25 hours total. I don't even know if he used a bathroom break. I don't even know if he took a bathroom break.
Did he wear a diaper?
No. He stopped eating.
Yeah.
You know, he stopped eating and stopped drinking. And,
I saw the interview. I don't know what day it started, but it was some interview after it had happened. Mm-hmm. And he
said it had
to
start Monday.
That he stopped drinking Sunday water and then stopped eating maybe Saturday night.
Yeah,
and
it started on 7 p.m. on Monday night. That's when he started talking. He's talking, blabbing on C-SPAN or whatever. Most of the time, there's nobody there. He's just kind of wandering around. I got some clips of him if you want to hear this, but and I got them celebrating him at the end. It's a performative thing. The people I saw on social media, it's people who are aligned with him politically are like, get him, man, get him. Normal people, trust me, whether you agree or not, trust me on this. Normal people do not care. They have no idea what's going on with this, and they were not tuned into what was happening. I don't believe it accomplished much, but let's see what happened. Let's see if anything got fun or crazy. Here he is.
To call to the conscience of this nation, to say I will not stand for another American to lose their health care for a billionaire.
All right, this was 2:27 p.m. yesterday.
Get a lavalier?
This was a ways in. I don't know.
Looks
Is he just close enough? He's moving around a bit.
Not stand for another veteran who's dedicated to stopping the suicide of other veterans to lose their job. I won't stand for the air quality in my community to be made worse because they're letting polluters pollute more. I won't stand for the collective assaults on the Constitution by a man who even the highest judge in our land,
he's going to be so without a voice,
a Republican-appointed judge, said stop threatening and bullying other branches of government. When is it going to be enough? My voice is inadequate. My efforts today are inadequate.
So he did this for 25 hours.
Is this?
That was 2 p.m. yesterday. Mm-hmm. So that was 20 hours or something, maybe a little less than that.
That's exhausting.
Did the other people get bathroom breaks? Or is it just on you to walk out and do what you will?
Here's what I got. The record for the longest individual speech belonged to South Carolina Senator Strom Thurmond, a Democrat at the time, who later joined the Republicans. Strom Thurmond spoke for 24 hours and 18 minutes in protest of the Civil Rights Act of 1957. Senator Wayne Morse of Oregon previously held the record with the 1953 filibuster that was 22 hours and 26 minutes. And I think Strom Thurmond had somebody jump in for a hot moment so that he could use the bathroom real quick at that time. Yeah, he temporarily yielded to a fellow lawmaker maybe right afterwards, because you're not supposed to be able to leave and do anything. And I can tell you, if I started talking, could I talk for 25 hours? Maybe. I would be blabbing just like he was and making very little to no sense at some points in time. But afterwards, I don't know that I could not have to pee for that long. I don't know that I could not drink anything. No fluids, no water, no nothing.
I think it's prep leading up to it.
I just couldn't do it.
I've been in moments in which, like, after 8 hours, you're like, oh my God, I haven't used the bathroom once. I haven't drank any water. But if you're like pre-gaming before this 25-hour speech.
Yeah, drinking some natty lights.
Yeah, then eventually you're going to have to pee and drink some water. And
I've never done that before, though. I've never gone time anywhere close to that long without going to the bathroom.
Now, hold on a minute. Sean, back in 2016, when the Pulse nightclub shooting happened, we pulled, I think it was like a 13-hour shift on air. Did you go to the bathroom then?
I didn't. But I don't think I did that much of it before anybody got there.
Because I remember Jim Phillips, who has retired, was there before me, and I don't think he left before he went home around like 6.
I think I did after Pulse like 7 or 8 hours straight with no
commercial breaks.
Yeah, with nothing. And actually, I remember going in and I'm like, all right, well, I'll start blabbing and getting the phones lit up. And I got Jack Bradshaw here hanging out with me. Little did I know, Jack Bradshaw was trying to arrange so many other people to show up and kind of like help with the coverage.
Until 9 p.m., I think.
For the first hour, it was just me yapping like Cory Booker. I was just blabbing, trying to get information out and going pretty much nonstop, which I'm telling you, afterwards, after 25 hours, your throat is going to be just toast. It's not going to.
But if you were given a speech about something like that, I think, it would be hard to get, that far in without starting to lose it. But, when you get your live stream news boner on, you turn into a different guy.
Very excited.
What? I'm not the same guy always. What do you mean, ranting is not normal for me?
No, it's just
you could
different.
See your pupils get very big.
No, you can't see that at all. There's no camera anywhere near me when I'm doing that. You're talking about this during breaks?
No, just I was talking about like when breaking stuff happens, and in that case you went into the building, but other times it's just been online, and you go full live stream news boner.
It depends. It depends on what's going on. I can do this. I can talk, but I don't know if I would want to not go to the bathroom for 25 hours. I don't know if I would be a fan of even thinking about that.
I can't imagine. What if you really have to pee? Like, you either don't and you can do that, or you're holding in this urgency to urinate for hours.
And I just don't want to be the person who goes, all right, I have to strategically prepare for this and I can't eat or drink anything in the meantime. The BS on YouTube says, when Sean talks about the left, he describes the opposition as normal people. Because I'm right. I'm sorry. Because they are.
Right,
There's left-wing people who take up about 10% of this country and they're nut jobs. And there's right-wing people who take up about 10% of this country and they're nut jobs. Those are the people I'm referring to when I talk about this. And I'm talking about normal people who don't take part in that. They just are regular ass people who enjoy their day. Trust me, I can tell you're not one of them. All right? I can tell ahead of time that you're not one of them.
What about me?
You are.
Good question.
I think you're fairly normal.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
I would like to think I am.
This is just my opinion, Fritz. What does it matter for in this day and age anyhow? But you strike me as a normal guy. I've spent a lot of time with you.
Thank you. I'm not unreasonable, would you say, right?
No,
I feel these fringe percentages, which I guess equate to 20% of the overall public, those are the ones who are pretty much like they would take up arms, right?
I think those are people who are lost causes. Like, I cannot convince anybody in that category. I've tried before. Like, sometimes I will. Like, I've sat down with people and start slowly pulling apart things and explain things and try to get them away from the silo of thinking that they're in. And it can work over time. But the problem is they'll just jump right back into it. And you're not going to win people over who fall into those categories. I think it's just the truth of life. But here's Cory Booker. I think, is this when he was finishing? I want to get the finish line for him here because that's a long time to talk.
I will tell you.
Tell us what.
This Constitution has saved my life.
He's not in any hurry.
It made my life. Because people marched to make real on the promise of our democracy. People bled to make real on this democracy.
I think now at this point, people started to flood in. So it was like, hey, he's hitting the record. He's going to hit the record here soon.
When is that when they decided to stop? Like after he hits the record?
Well, no, he went beyond it. He wanted to get himself a little distance because why not? If you're going to break 25 hours of talking, keep going another hour or something.
Especially the guy who had the record before him. Strom Thurmond was a real POS. I mean,
that was against the Civil Rights Act, as I was saying before. Like, yeah, that guy's old school.
This is a moral moment. It's not left or right. It's right or wrong.
It's the end. Hang on.
Let's get in good trouble.
Oh, I see in front of him is 2 glasses of water. I don't know if those are for the finish line here. Like, buddy, slam these.
Madam President.
Maybe they're shots.
I yield.
That would be awesome. It blew out the mics.
Oh. I thought it was an alien invasion.
No, it blew out the mics on C-SPAN.
Yeah, I did.
Their mics are from 1983.
I did hear the clip of Chuck Schumer ask him, does the senator yield to a question? And he said, no. And then he goes, sorry, Chuck, that's the only time I'll ever say no to you.
I did see that. Hey, Chuck Schumer, back off, buddy. Let somebody else have the spotlight for a moment. The guy's yapping. He's busy yapping here, okay? There he is. That happened yesterday, breaking a record. And that was while all this other stuff was going on. We had the Wisconsin election, which Elon Musk poured a bunch of money into. I forgot what the final number was, but millions and millions and millions of dollars into this election for the Supreme Court in Wisconsin. Again, it shouldn't be something that's political. Judicial appointments should not be political. Unfortunately, they are because we've got a pretty broken system here right now. But that was flush with cash from Elon Musk in that election, and it stayed where it was. The seat that came up was a democratically aligned judge, and the winner of the election was not Elon Musk's choice. They lost. In fact, it fell in line fairly closely to the previous election for Supreme Court, and not much changed as a result of all of this campaigning. It was like the same kind of outcome that we saw 2 years ago with the last election like this. And then in the Florida elections, where the Democrats invested a whole ton of money, they poured a ton of money in there. Oh, Elon Musk poured $25 million in Wisconsin for nothing. The Democrats outraised Fine 10-1 and Patronus 3-1.
Wow, that's
in the state of Florida.
Numbers.
They flooded cash into those races. I don't think that was as much. I don't think that was 25 million total. I think it was much less than that. But they lost both those elections. The Republicans won both seats that were up for grabs. And the margins were a little slimmer, but nothing was, like I saw people afterwards going, Trump should be a little scared. Nothing was crazy here. Nothing was crazy. Both of the elections went the way everybody thought they were. If anything, it maybe showed you that injecting millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in the race doesn't really change all that much.
No, but it does change for the people who are doing the advertising. Like it's payday.
Man.
They're excited for special elections.
We got some money too. And
where?
It's just, we didn't personally get some money, but they bought up like crazy around all these different markets to push it, specifically Randy Fine.
That's what I think felt kind of I felt like I was done a disservice because I had to listen/watch. I had to consume all of the ads. But I wasn't in the district to vote for them, so it really didn't matter. So and I didn't even realize that until yesterday.
Were they just trying to cast a wider net or something? Because I was thinking the same thing.
Well, I mean, the stations that ran those ads broadcast in counties that are included in those districts.
Yeah.
But our county wasn't one of them. You know, the place where our building wasn't one of those counties. It's just where our reach goes.
Well, they were very, very, very small elections. That's what they were. They were very small elections that got national interest because the Democrats were seeking to go, if we can win in these two red areas and beat Fine and beat these other guys, we can say people are turning against Trump. You no longer have the will of the people, blah, blah, blah.
I don't even know how I missed the ad that Sabrina was talking about yesterday, where they said badass like
on TV
5 or 6 times.
And like not only did they say it, but it was like in the words. The words are over the screen, badass.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'm a math teacher. Badass. And I'm like, okay. Not my district.
I saw some stuff about that election. It got a little wild. We'll touch on that a little bit later on, because I was going through both of the profiles of the people running for office there. I was like, these two are really not friends.
Who won the Gay Josh race?
Gay lost.
Gay lost.
Yeah. Gay lost that one. And
great.
Sorry.
Republicans won both of them.
That's new.
So it really just seemed to me like the spread was not much different because it was a new candidate. It was a little bit lower, but like nothing was crazy here. So jury duty is coming up next. We'll see what's going on with that. We still have to get to, they're trying to really juice this Morgan Wallen SNL thing.
I didn't use it as a Fritz on the street question because I don't care.
It seems like it was just like this small thing, but I will dig up a little deeper on that. And I want to see what everybody thinks about this, because they have just revealed who is going to play the Beatles in an upcoming movie.
Imagine.
And that's some pretty, that's casting that you really got to nail. People know who these folks are, at least two of them. They really, really know, and you can't screw it up. So how well did this casting go? Let's discuss that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Florida's Walter Clayton Jr. He's a finalist for the Wooden Award as the top player in college basketball. He's one of 3 SEC stars who are up for the honor. UCF is on to the quarterfinals of the college basketball crown after edging Oregon State last night. Knights will face Big 12 rival Cincinnati tomorrow in Vegas. And the NFL's taken over Christmas again this year, announcing a triple-header with games streamed by Netflix and Amazon. I'm Scott Davidson.
That feeling of owning your first Mercedes-Benz is hard to believe, but it's real. From the leather stitching to the iconic design, every element of a Mercedes lives up to its reputation. See for yourself at your local dealer. Offers are waiting.
Are you hiding your smile because of missing or damaged teeth? Solid Bite can help. With the latest techniques and technology, you'll be showing off your smile in no time. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now to receive your free booklet. 321-259-8000.
This little piggy wasn't affected by the market. This little piggy had protected funds. This little piggy locked in college costs. This little piggy had a 1-year plan. And all the little piggies went wee to college land.
Before you know it, those tiny feet will be off to college. Save the smartest way with a Florida 529 prepaid plan. Unlike a regular savings account, the funds are dedicated and guaranteed to cover tuition costs. So when they're ready to go, you are too. Prepaid plans start at $29 a month. Open enrollment ends April 30th.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Granger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Granger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha!
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Zero Res uses its patented process and products that's safe for your pets and your kids. And they have unbeatable service. That's why I've had them over to my house. Give them a call. 407-232-9188 or visit OrlandoZeroRes.com today. And remember, Zero Res, spelled forwards or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Looking for affordable blinds, shades, or shutters for your home? Don't hire an expensive pro. Check out Blindster.com, where we offer custom-made window coverings at guaranteed low prices with a team of pros ready to help you every step of the way. Blindster.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
You might not have many friends, but we definitely don't. So, hey Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio. High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom.
In just a second, take a peek in courtrooms in the United States to see what's happening over there.
Let me in.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I like drop the gavel.
I didn't feel confident enough and drop the gavel alone, so I kept going. I was like, last minute things. Drop the gavel on jury duty. That's what we'll do here in just a minute on the show. And I got some pretty solid stories for that, so I'm interested to see what you think. And I want some new folks popping up for the end of the show. Last hour, we're going to work in some more of you. All right? You've been listening for a while. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you got going on. What do you like? What do you dislike? Send it an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. If you want to be anonymous, put that up top. That's fine. We'll do that on a Wednesday. Why not? You can write a love story to Fritz if you want. I'll read it. I'll read it back to you here. You can write about how much you hate C-Lane. Like, dear Sean, Christopher Dolores Lane is the worst. And this is why I hate this guy.
Allegedly.
Type it. And we'll get to those. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com and dispatches that you can send in on the website. All right, they're casting before jury duty for the new Beatles movie. And I don't know how Ringo. I feel about this just yet, because this is a tough one. With the Beatles, at least three of them, right? I mean, you got Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and Ringo Starr. George Harrison, too, but those three, people really know what they look like. They've heard them speak. They know their mannerisms. They're really familiar with them.
George was always a really snappy dresser, and he was like always handsome and put together. You know, not so much the other three.
I picture him in my head right now.
You just need a fashionista.
And I think like 80s Jesus. Did he not have like long hair?
Yeah.
Now, is this documentary going to cover?
That's not a doc.
No, this is a biopic.
A biopic going to cover a particular era of the Beatles, or they need to find like 3 generations of Beatles.
They want all the Beatles of the same age, and I think they might even be working on more than one of these. But they just announced at this film festival, CinemaCon in Las Vegas, who's going to be playing who. And you got Harris Dickinson, who's going to be playing John Lennon, who he's a good-looking guy, and I know him, but he looks a lot like the Austin Butler guy to me. The actor Elvis? Austin Butler, who played Elvis. It's not him, though. Harris Dickinson.
I love this guy.
He's very familiar.
He was in Iron Claw. He was in the Murder at the End of the World or The Tip of the World. The show we watched a couple
Was he in the motorcycle one? Was he in that one?
I don't remember. But he's
Iron Claw, by the way. Iron Claw is the wrestling movie, right?
Yeah.
That was a very, very emotional wrestling movie.
Cried 5 times.
Oh, it's a great, it's a heartbreaking story, but it's a great movie.
And recently he was in Baby Girl, which was like him dominating Nicole Kidman, which I didn't see because it seemed kind of strange. But
I think it'd be
Harris
weird to see
Dickinson.
that in a theater because it's supposed to be very, very erotic.
He's a little sexy. And Harris Dickinson is going to be John Lennon.
I'm interested.
Paul Mescal is going to be Paul McCartney, which I can see. This one makes sense to me.
They've got
watching along.
hunks playing these guys that were just like ordinary dudes.
They're going to hook them up. Of course they are. I mean, if they did a story about the news junkie, I would hope it would be somebody better looking than me that would be playing my part.
You know what, though? It's like every actor nowadays has like the really built arms and like the nice like throat. You know, they're all handsome, hunky dudes. When did that happen?
I don't know. Nice throats all around, though. You see them everywhere.
I really thought Steve Buscemi for you.
Ringo Starr? No, how dare you? Ringo Starr, they're looking at Barry Keoghan.
I think he is an incredible actor. I know Sabrina Carpenter doesn't like him, but I think he's going to nail Ringo Starr.
Remember when he banged that grave?
He has a very interesting look, and honest to God, Ringo Starr has a very interesting look.
Yeah.
So I think it will work. And he can act. Like, he's definitely somebody who's very skilled at acting. Barry Keoghan is somebody you, I'm sure, know. And then they have a guy named Joseph Quinn who will be playing George Harrison for the Beatles.
He's from Shameless, I believe.
Somebody said, why are they afraid to cast ugly people? Somebody else says, you might as well cast Sydney Sweeney as Yoko Ono.
What's this guy's name that you're showing right now?
Joseph Quinn is going to be playing George Harrison. So that's the rundown. You got Harris Dickinson as John Lennon, Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr, and Joseph Quinn as George Harrison.
You know who Joseph Quinn is?
No.
It's from Stranger Things. The guy who played the Metallica.
Oh, that guy?
Last season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow, he looks so different here. That's pretty wild.
Imagine.
All right, I'll toss this up on See It Now during a break here so you could take a look. And we're running a little bit behind, but so what? Damn the man, save the empire. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the news junkie.
Damn the man, save the empire, and drop the gavel.
That's right.
What's that
Drop the
from?
gavel on jury duty. I'm workshopping it. I'm workshopping it here one day at a time. But right now, jury duty brought to you by Mo DeWitt and the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or you can go to the website, which is conveniently located at justcallmo.com. M-O-E-MO, justcallmo.com. Let's see here. What do we got to catch up with? We have our teacher who is in some big trouble. She's Christina Formella, 30-year-old teacher, who allegedly had sex with a 15-year-old that we discussed previously.
It's not the Scream Mask, though, right?
This is not the Scream Mask lady. This is another lady who's in some big trouble here. And they just released the footage of her and the police arresting her. I think I
see
have
this morning. It's she is not aware of what she did, which is wild to me because that's banging a student.
This is the arrest here.
You don't have anything on you? You can just grab whatever you need.
Whatever I need?
Yeah, whatever you need, like your phone, your purse, go ahead and grab it.
Is she going somewhere? Or?
Yeah, we're going to explain
That's her husband.
You guys, so go ahead and turn her around for me.
Cuffing her.
Excuse me, is my husband coming with?
Yes, yeah, he's taking his phone number down. We're staying in touch with him. We're just going to Downers Grove, so 10 minutes away.
Just so you know, this woman, here's her story. They have the text messages, including sexual photos between her and the student. Her claim is that the student grabbed her phone when she wasn't looking in the classroom, unlocked it by knowing the password, sent those nude photos to himself, and then deleted the sent photo off her phone so she would not know it. That's what her claim is that what happened.
Makes sense to me, Sean.
That seems a little far-fetched to me, but I don't know. Let's see what else she says in the back of the cruiser.
No, I know, but I really would prefer that my husband's with me.
Of course.
Unless you're with a 15-year-old.
Right.
Am I in trouble? Like, I'm.
Yeah.
Am I
you
in
are.
trouble? I mean,
I don't get it.
appear to be cuffed and in the back of a police car right
Isn't-
now.
Isn't this the woman that was like, you're arresting me because I'm too hot?
She did say that. I don't know if she
Okay.
mentions it here. Let's see if she says that.
I'm so lost right now.
Sure, you don't want a tissue or something?
I'm feeling I'm gonna throw up.
Bag?
Yes, please.
All right.
Go get a bag.
Oh, no.
Yeah, watching this
So-
morning, like, those tears are like, where was that when you were sending nudes to a, 13, 14-year-old?
15-year-old kid.
Come on.
During a tutoring session.
And
I
then
don't
my
believe
husband
this
gonna
story.
be here, like there. It doesn't make sense to me. It seems like it's two different brains.
Also, I would guess that this means that her husband believes her.
Okay.
Like her husband buys that story. I don't know, man. That would be so tough.
She also allegedly wrote about the boy on her phone's notes app.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
In that case,
No, that was the student.
I was going to say, in that case, the student also,
Thank you, Jeff.
after sending the nudes to himself, wrote notes about. I mean,
Boy, yeah, Fritz, he was busy on this phone, wasn't he?
Guess what? He's got an A+ in creative writing. Say that.
I mean,
All
I
right.
wonder if she can
so does she.
convince someone beyond a reasonable doubt. That's a stretch.
Yeah, that's tough. You're going to have some sort of proof. And I don't know if that was alleged to have happened in the classroom, then I imagine they would maybe have some footage. I don't know, but it's not looking good for her. And it's always funny, especially when pretty people get arrested. There's something kind of glorious about it. They don't think oftentimes like, whoa, what's going? I'm allowed to do whatever I want. And now she believes she's being targeted because she's attractive. That's what she says. But we'll see if she beats the charges, beats the rap on this one. We'll check that out as the days go on.
It would be an interesting legal move and set a precedent for a lot of these if she was able to get off on just telling that story that the boy did this all in the phone.
Then they're all going to say it. It's going to be the next, I was just peeing. I was just peeing out here. That's what happened to me. I swear I didn't do it.
I was just coming to counsel the young child on how they shouldn't have sex with people they meet online.
We'll see if it works. But we got to take a quick break. I got a couple other stories that didn't make the jury duty cut here, but we'll talk about them.
Rich doesn't want to.
We'll get to the Morgan Wallen thing briefly here. And turkeys versus post office people. What's happening with that? I assure you, it'll be interesting. And it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Download the all-new iHeartRadio app. Make Real Radio 104.1 number one on your presets.
Let's go, Mike. Tammy says, I kind of feel sorry for her. Tammy, that is probably because you are a well-intentioned, well-meaning, empathetic person. And sometimes people will weaponize their emotions to get that out of you. And they'll be like, nobody wants to see somebody upset and crying, right? We've got a lot of that going on. There's so many like well-intentioned, empathetic people. You got like, you're like, here's how I feel about this, and this, it's coming from like such a good place, and then if you examine it, you go, well, if this teacher's lying, she's banging a 15-year-old, right? And that, a lot of reasons why we can't let that happen. A lot of reasons why we can't let her just cry and then we feel bad about it afterwards too. But I don't know. I mean, people. There's fans of all these people. She's gonna have fans. That teacher will absolutely have fans. Whoa, Twitch. Twitch, you don't have to say F you to Tammy. We don't need inter-streaming platform fights here. Tammy just said, all she said was she's crying. Basically, I feel sorry for her. That's not crazy. Twitch versus YouTube. You guys got to get along. You guys got to be friends. Please. God, if you guys can't get along, and the Republicans and the Democrats can't get along, and my mom and my dad can't get along, what am I going to do? not fight with other platforms? F YouTube? You're saying F YouTube? Well, if YouTube sucks, why is there so many more people on YouTube than Twitch? Huh? Huh? Answer that question. If YouTube sucks so bad, why is there so many more people right now watching on YouTube than Twitch? I mean, I love Twitch. I think Twitch is a great platform. I think Dan Clancy, the CEO, is a dumb motherfucker. Print that. But I like Twitch. It's a good platform. But you're outgunned big time. Why are there so many people in the shallow end of the pool? You're calling YouTube the shallow end of the pool? Damn. Brutal. I love YouTube and I love Twitch. I don't want to have to pick. But if I had to pick, I'd probably pick, and you could quote me on that. 90 seconds. Twitch is okay. I like it. This is just my go-to. Well, thank you, AD. Thank you. You guys, we gotta bring it together. We gotta come together. No teams around here. Except for you political lunatics who just ran about weird shit. But I'm gonna continue to slap you. I'm gonna continue to spank you. And make it sting a little bit. That's not stopping anytime soon. I will continue to spank you.
Students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Granger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Granger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Like a car crash, you
times. That's the real battle. It's the battle of our ages. YouTube and Twitch hate each other. I don't know what's going on there. It's bad blood.
It's going to be weird when you come to our events.
I know, right? Like,
we have to make a YouTube and Twitch section. Make sure they stay away from each other.
Because they'll be like, you're from YouTube. Oh, all right. Mm-hmm.
You think we'd get more attendance if we just promoted it as like a gang fight?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sharks in the Jet style. And they'll start shanking each other.
Someone's mentioned the Jets again.
Yeah, that's a different one. It was Benny the Jet earlier, but he's a baseball player.
Okay, when it comes to Benny and the Jets, though, where does that fall?
It's different.
The Jets.
That's an Elton John tune.
Completely different Jets, though?
Benny the Jet is one of the best baseball players of all time. It's kind of embarrassing that you don't know that as somebody who pretends to like baseball. You say you like the Marlins.
I do.
Real Benny the Jet was a kickboxer.
No, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual Benny the Jet. I'm talking about the real one. Everybody knows who I'm talking about.
Oh, everyone knows.
Who did he play for?
Yeah, everyone knows.
He played for the team that was going after the Dogs.
Exactly.
They were going after the Dogs.
Dodgers is the real answer.
I was trying to
This is different. Benny the Jet, different guy all told. Morgan Wallen and SNL. Now, I told you, I think I broke this down exactly as it should be broken down.
Of course.
As per usual.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the greatest. And Saturday Night Live
and the Jets
and Morgan Wallen. Here's the thing going on, all right? We have this thing where country music stars like Morgan Wallen want to go do SNL for the audience that it gives them access to, because a lot of people still watch that.
They also get paid. They get paid very well.
They get paid. It makes them look relevant, culturally relevant, which is kind of important if you're in the entertainment industry. And it's an important stop off if you're promoting stuff. It still is, no matter what you think about it. If you think SNL sucks, it's not funny anymore, it's way too liberal, whatever you think about it, it doesn't matter. It's still, and has been for a very long time, a cultural touchstone.
50 years.
And for 50 years, they've been relevant, at least to some extent. But country music stars have to sort of bite the bullet. You go, all right, I'm like a real country boy from a small town, and I'm going into New York City and Manhattan to go up to 30 Rock to talk to all these people who have never been on a horse in their lives.
All these liberals.
Okay. But he's also top 40 and has been to big cities to play said shows.
Yeah, but that's not
It's not a first go around.
That's not his world. His world is like
or how
country
he comes
music. Off. No, it's his world. His world is country music, and he's got an image that he's selling, just like a rapper has an image to sell.
I was going to say casually saying racial epithets to his neighbors.
Yeah, he's had some problems. He's had some things he's gotten in trouble for in the past.
His world, baby.
And Morgan Wallen went into the Dragon's Mouth to these folks in New York City, and I think he wanted to do it but didn't want to do it. So you have to show a little resistance.
Well,
so when you're leaving, you're like, take me to God's city. This is what I'm describing to you. I'm telling you that they have to do it because they want the promotion, but it goes against the grain for their community. They're like, oh, look at this. He went to New York City, y'all, for the SNL folks. So you got to do it, but act like you hate it while you do it.
Right.
Well, I would just go, if that doesn't fit my brand and I don't like those people and they don't like me, then I'm not going to do it. That's how I would do it. But instead, he's trying to have kind of the best of both worlds. I'm doing SNL, but then I'm kind of going to reject it a little bit or pretend like it wasn't a big deal.
His agent also wants that money, so he's like, do it so I can get my 20%.
Do they actually pay them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They also pay for broadcast rights. I mean, they have to.
Ooh, yeah, to get it in them.
It's a big chunk of their budget.
See what they pay, if you can, Fritz, or somebody who can do that.
on it.
What does SNL pay the performers? Because I didn't know they got paid a bunch of money. But Morgan Wallen kind of walks off at the end. He walks towards the camera and, oh, look, he's showing he's fed up with these dumb New York City hipsters.
Okay. I'm getting something different from that AI overview of Google.
All right, hang on tight. Wait 1 sec. So he walks past the camera and then he posts on Instagram afterwards, hey, take me to God's country. Now, since then, he's selling merch that says take me to God's country.
Oh.
So he's fired up the merch engine. He's making some monies off the merch. This is take me to God's country. Somebody on staff, it was, damn it, what's his name? The guy who's been there forever.
Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson, I believe, said it seemed a little odd, seemed like a vibe shift that he left and wasn't celebrating with everybody. And there was word that there was a couple of sketches that were pitched to him that he refused to take part in.
There was something that they pitched to him that one of the Jonas brothers ended up stepping in for instead.
Right. And people were watching, they're going, hold on, why is a Jonas brother here all of a sudden? But it was kind of a thing to poke fun at the country music community, and they said he didn't have interest in taking part of that.
I thought it was about waiting in line in New York or something like that. Waiting in a big fat line.
I only saw a story where they described it, and they were like, it was a skit about country music or something, and he did not want to take part, allegedly. And
so Joe Jonas said it, yeah.
Yeah, the Jonas Brothers stepped in and did that role.
Thank God.
So it seems kind of like Much Ado About Nothing, but this is where they try to make some drama out of things, and I don't know. Everybody benefits. Morgan Wallen sells some shirts, and SNL gets some headlines.
They need some drama, and then it'll be nobody's talking about it in, 4 days?
Until the next time, and then he goes back on SNL.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he already, his first SNL appearance was already like people made a big deal out of it because they canned him the 2 weeks before because it was COVID protocol, and he was like in a video partying with a bunch of people. Like, it wasn't a good look or whatever.
So they had a little history.
And so his big thing back, and I think they even poked fun at him And I thought he participated in that. So I didn't think that his last SNL appearance was as contentious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the Buzzin' on YouTube says the skit about the attack plans hurt his feels, and he was in a pissy mood.
Aww.
That's what he says. Wow, what's the AI say about them getting paid, Sabrina?
I'm getting two different things. I sent it to the group chat so you can show the people watching on the stream.
I also got
the
same thing.
The first one that I got that kind of threw me, and this is AI, was exact figures fluctuate in negotiations, but typically receive a flat fee, often around $750.
Oh my God!
No,
right?
I got 5,000 to 10,000. It's also not publicly disclosed, though.
Right,
You
and
have
then
to understand,
the second
though,
thing.
Sorry, go ahead.
The second thing that I got though was like detailed breakdown where in 1976 to be exact, Lorne Michaels offered the Beatles $3,200 and a free hotel if they would come back and play. And that's a long time ago.
That was a joke too.
Yeah, here's my guess on this.
That was
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a joke because George Harrison showed up and he goes, "No, it's got to be all four of you." And George Harrison goes, "Oh, come on, I'm here." And he's like, "Sorry, George."
Oh my God! And Google AI thinks it's fact.
Also, just to throw this out there, if let's say BMI or ASCAP, those are songwriter or performance organizations, PROs, performing rights organization. If you play a song that's broadcast to 17 million people, you get a percentage of how large the impact is. You get a massive check from that.
Especially if it's on the on-demand version afterwards, which
so they get paid.
They've cut some stuff out of that. What I think might be happening here, and this is just a guess, just my gut, having done some of the stuff in this world, I bet that Saturday Night Live does pay these bands. I bet they pay the big bands a significant amount of money.
Probably union minimum at times.
Yeah.
I would bet, Fritz, that they don't want that information to be public because then it becomes like a bidding war and everybody, no, this band got this much. I want this much money.
And wouldn't you do it for free? I mean,
a lot of groups would just to get that sort of attention.
I bet they didn't pay Noah Kahan or Kahan, however you say that guy's name.
Who?
That much money because he was a nobody when he was on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
They have to fill up the season with a couple of them. You know, the newbies, the folks they're giving a shot
if
out
anyone's
there.
listening, Xbox by Sabrina, totally ready to perform that.
SNL performance on the way.
I'll have to do it 2 times.
All right, let's get to these stories that didn't make it into jury duty. One is OnlyFans is being sued. Yes, it's happening. 2 former OnlyFans subscribers. Imagine that's how they describe you. Oh, damn it, Celine, you got ad blocked.
I see it.
What a time to be alive. Sorry. They're 2 former OnlyFans subscribers, which that title next to your name always brings me back to Bachelor in Paradise. I love the Chiron or the lower third graphic work that they do. Like one guy they had on there, and it said whatever his name was, and it said former child for his job.
Not bad.
Social media person, like they'll put some on there. Yeah, like things that indicate that they don't actually have an actual job. But 2 former OnlyFans subscribers are suing the platform in a class action lawsuit, claiming they were defrauded because creators allegedly weren't interacting directly with them, but were instead employing agencies to impersonate the models that they thought they were speaking to. This is it. Mr. Brunner and Jay Fry, both from Illinois, they said they thought they were talking to the creators. They thought like, Bad Baby or whoever the hell they're talking to on OnlyFans was really speaking with them, but it wasn't. It was some staff that was hired even AI in some cases that they used to answer these messages coming in.
You masturbated to a robot.
And by the way, I would not have guessed this, but you guys know, we've gone over this before. From many large creators on OnlyFans, they, believe it or not, make more from the messages than they do from the subscribers.
And with that, I wonder, is it just the idea of messaging with that person, or are they really good at writing back and forth?
There's like dudes just talking like, oh, yeah, I think you're a hottie too.
Okay.
And posting those messages back and forth. It's wild, man. Yeah. It shows me... Honestly, it shows me there's a lot of really lonely guys out there.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, really, you don't say.
For some OnlyFans creators, it is as advertised, where you pay the subscription, you get the stuff.
Yeah.
But for some of them, the subscription is just like a small barrier to entry, and there's a lot more. Like there are some that all the posts are like censored, and they're like, oh, you want to get the uncensored stuff? You got to pay even more for this package, or pay for messages, or it can be a real cash grab.
Wonder what percentage of subscribers on OnlyFans are females?
Probably 20%.
No, I think 20
Not
would be
asking
high.
Google AI. Apparently, it's just going with rumors and SNL bits.
Well, they just scrape the internet and then push it together. But I would have to say, 5% would be my guess or less. Because women don't have to pay for this stuff. Women are in demand. Even women want to see women naked. Everybody wants to see women naked. And everybody will pay for it. But for creators on OnlyFans, I have to think that most of these paying people are just dudes.
All right, you'd be surprised.
53, so this is AI, but they only analyzed 425 OnlyFans subscribers, but 53 male, 45 female, and 0.7 as non-binary or gender non-conforming.
I'm calling that out. There's just no way.
That's just a small sample.
How many people?
425.
That's more than I would have thought.
Answering.
I would have to think it would be so few. But maybe you're a female out there and you're like, hey, I subscribe to an OnlyFans.
Now, the inverse, how many do you think are creators?
70%.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Right on the money. 70% women, and I guess the other 30 also ran.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, the other two stories from jury duty. A woman in Missouri is in big trouble. She allegedly poisoned a family member by spiking his lemonade and tea with rat poison and antifreeze.
Is that
Have you
illegal?
tasted that, though?
Yeah, it's really good.
Not too bad.
What a name this person has. Barbary, that's her first name. Barbara, Barbaray. Klinkenbeard is her name. 61
That's my
years old.
OnlyFans username. After
Barbary Klinkenbeard. Sounds like a pirate or something. Barbary Klinkenbeard, 61, is charged with 2 counts each of first-degree domestic assault and armed criminal action. They said they were trying to rat poison these people and mix it into their drinks to get them as sick as possible.
Can't you taste rat poison like almost immediately? Almost smell it before you ingest the drink?
I don't know. I've never smelled rat poison before.
Don't drink your drink.
Not that I know of. Klinkenbeard allegedly admitted to poisoning the family member amid arguments with him. Asked if she knew the amount of poison used in both instances could kill the victim, she said yes. The victim at first denied Klinkenbeard had poisoned him, but later admitted that she did so after she confessed to the cops, she said. And finally, a couple's in big trouble.
What happened?
They made some sweet, sweet love.
Oh, I got you.
And apparently you're not allowed to do that. Certain places in America. Some places are just deemed off limits. Like atop a gravesite at a historic Florida cemetery. You're just not allowed to do this.
Particular grave? Or it just was one of those graves that kind of looks like a bed?
Place is called Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery.
And they don't want people to bang? Come on.
Not very wild.
It was the dead person's only threesome.
That's if you bang the ground.
That's really sad.
That was a reveal, Fritz.
It just makes me sad that person just isn't getting that spice, you know?
Also worth mentioning, there's like 4 people probably buried on top of each other. No
You
one
think
checks
so?
up on the graveyards.
They don't, but I hope
100
they're
years
not selling
later,
them.
you could bury someone on top of that and charge the family.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, if you just go in terms of any piece of ground, yeah, it's got to be bodies down there, right?
Any piece of ground.
Yeah. So what do you want me to call it?
So bang on it.
A slice of ground?
No,
Any-
I'm agreeing with you. I'm hype manning you. I promise.
Any tapestry of land? I don't know.
Topiary.
Anywhere you might have something underneath them, way underneath them. But I hope they're not stacking people. If not, I want a discount on some graves. For
You think
God's sake.
in the future they're just going to ball them up like fetal position and just like put them like just vertically?
Catapult them?
Maybe. Or they might have to start doing it, Fritz, like they do in New Orleans. Because New Orleans is above or like right at sea level or below sea level in some points. So they don't bury people because you just float up and go bobbing through the city.
So bury me with some floaties?
They put you in a little thing. They make like temples. They make little airy concrete things that they put you in.
So you
they're
can bang
beautiful.
on it.
I don't hate them at all.
Not on top of it, but also inside of it.
Well,
You bet. Yeah.
Well,
Some of
I'm
those are real
horny.
nice. And finally, the other tease thing here. Let's just work this out while we're grab bagging it. A Massachusetts mail carrier entered an unusual situation, got a little hazardous when he was chased through the neighborhood by wild turkeys. The pursuit was caught on camera. He says, I've come close with dogs. Good for you. I do a lot of stuff on Nantucket, so I see deer all the time.
Is that a direct quote?
But this is my first time with turkeys. Once I got out, they came after me. And I know a lot of you are going to say this person should be made fun of. And he got rep points removed for this. People were texting him gobble, gobble all day long. And I can't wait to see Thanksgiving this year. But turkeys are scary. Big, angry birds.
Oh, and,
if they want to get
they're
at you.
collective. Like, they'll gang up on you.
They're fat, though. A big turkey, a wild turkey, they'll puff up and
fat-ass turkey.
Go at you from the porch of your house or wherever they corner you.
They can also fly like 45 miles per hour.
Can they?
With all your facts out of nowhere.
I'm a trivia host.
That's true.
What do
He
you
is.
want from me, Sabrina?
That'll be next
Hold
week.
on. A turkey can fly 45 miles an hour?
They're fast, dude.
But they can't fly very high, right?
It's actually 18.
Okay.
Okay.
But up to 50 miles per hour in flight.
I'm sorry. I was picturing a turkey cruising along at 45
I
miles
feel
an hour
like
in
it
the
would
air.
be harder to have a Thanksgiving dinner
Yeah.
if they were going 45 miles an hour.
So for short distances, they can fly 55 miles per hour, but they usually in flight 18 miles per hour.
So that's true then. The 55 miles an hour. That's incredible.
That'll knock
Hang
you
on.
out.
I'm bringing
He
this
doesn't
up.
believe
Go
you,
ahead.
Fritz. He doesn't
All right.
believe you.
What did
I'm
I say?
gonna-
40? I
turkey-
conservatively said 40, I think.
Turkey flying fast. That's what I'm going to give you here. Oh, this is a turkey on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's chasing it.
Turkey on the fly. Turkey on the fly.
That thing's cruising.
Thank you. Oh, you gotta hit the turkey.
That's no joke. That thing is going very fast.
Thank
for a
you.
How
big
do
ass
they
turkey.
get cut so easily?
All of you
Here-
can suck it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. I think Fritz is absolutely right, but I think the turkeys that we eat from the store, I don't think wild turkeys get quite as fat as those ones.
No.
Because those turkeys, I don't feel like they'd be able to fly like this thing. This is graceful. It's beautiful. Okay, we're going to take a quick break.
Terrifying is the word I would use.
I will put those Beatles cast members. I forgot to put that up on CNN, but I will
Do the
put that up
turkey
during
one
the break.
too while you're at it.
I'm not doing the turkey one. It's
All
too
right.
late. We've got too many other things to
We
do.
literally just talked about it.
You put it up. I'm not putting it up. I got too many things to do. I got to get all ready for the next segment. And I don't know if you know this, but the next segment is going to be wild with a capital W-Y-L-D. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Look out for an accident on I-95 northbound before Taylor Road, an accident on State Road 436 near I-4. Traffic starting to slow down on the major roadways on the ramp from State Road 408 to I-4. There's slowdowns on I-4 westbound through that World Drive area. Move over and slow down if you see police activity or emergency vehicles on the roadways. And if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Road trip? Let's go! But first, drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where we only pour premium Valvoline oil. No appointment needed. Save today at VIOC.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We'll get you back on the road in no time.
Are you looking to buy a business or a franchise? That mortgage guy, Don, has your back. And he also has over 50 sources for your SBA and business loans of all sizes. That mortgage guy, Don, also does the commercial and small business administration loans. So if you have an existing SBA with a rate of 9% or more, well, guess what? You are in luck. That mortgage guy, Don, can refinance your qualified high-interest SBA loan to a low fixed rate of 8.25%. Don't leave money on the table. Let that mortgage guy, Don, help you get the money off the table and back in your hands where it belongs. Get the process started today by going to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat compare.
FreshGuyDone.com. Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
The Moneymaker Tournament is back at Daytona Beach Racing and Kart Club from April 2nd through the 14th. The Moneymaker Tour features over $500,000 in guarantees with 21 trophy events, including the $150,000 Guaranteed Moneymaker Mystery Bounty and the $250,000 Moneymaker Main Event. Catch the live stream of the final table on Monday, April 14th at 2:15 p.m. Be there for all the action.
Do you hate litter as much as we do? We're Keep America Beautiful, and we're challenging everyone in America to pick up 25 pieces of litter between now and Earth Day. Take the pledge and join the greatest American cleanup at kab.org/greatest.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit Crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Healthy babies begin with Florida Healthy Start, and the results speak for themselves. Fewer premature births, lower infant mortality, and better outcomes for families across Florida. When a family partners with a Florida Healthy Start program in their community, they receive free support, guidance, and resources that help their baby have a healthy start in life. Learn more about protecting your baby's health by visiting healthystartflorida.com. This message is brought to you by Sunshine Help.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit Crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Are you hiding your smile because of missing or damaged teeth? Solid Bite can help. With the latest techniques and technology, you'll be showing off your smile in no time. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now to receive your free booklet. 321-259-8000.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you by comparing and finding the best rates. You could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Acceptance Insurance. We shop, you save. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Granger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Granger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to give up the bottle? Drinking too much and ready for a change? Dr. Robert Malpass with CNS Healthcare in Orlando is seeking adults ages 18 to 65 who regularly consume large amounts of alcohol to take part in a medication research study. If you're ready to make a change, call CNS Healthcare at 407-425-5100 today to learn more about this research study for those who desire to drink less. Or go to cnshealthcare.com to schedule a free consultation.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do Not Disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Have you ever wondered if your pet is lying to you?
Why is my cat not here? And I go in and she's eating my lunch.
Or if hypnotism is real?
We will use the suggestion to enhance your control.
Or what's inside a black hole?
Black holes could be a consequence of the way we understand the universe.
Well, we have answers for you in the new podcast, Science Stuff. Join me, Jorge Cham, as we answer questions about animals, space, our brains, and our bodies. Listen to Science Stuff on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart Radio app, search Science Stuff, and listen now.
If it's important to you, it's on and probably being mocked by.
We love having you with us. Bring some friends next time if you want to.
All
Tell
right.
them about the website. It's thenewsjunkie.com, thenewsjunkie.com. Fritz, I'm preparing myself to honestly be let down by the second season of Last of Us.
What?
I don't know why. I feel like
Why would you say that?
I feel like it's been so long. It's been a long time now, and I feel like it's headed in a different direction. And
You have no idea.
I don't know, but I feel like this could take a turn. I feel like it could be different this year.
Fritz,
or this time,
go
this
ahead.
season.
Yeah, do you want me to?
No,
I mean,
absolutely
I
don't
give
do
all
that.
the spoilers.
Don't do that. But
No,
as
but
game
it's-
players, absolutely. This season's going to rock some people.
So how did you think the last season was going to end? As like someone who has not watched the show, right? We got
I only remember
Joel
the
and
last
Ellie.
season pretty vaguely. Like I remember that you had Joel and the girl Ellie, and they were like bonding, even though they didn't want to be together. The whole journey of them going through this new world.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they ended up in like some kind of mall or something.
It was a makeshift military hospital.
Okay, but there was a mall there, right?
Yeah.
There wasn't a mall, and they started going through the mall, and
The mall was kind of like a little side story about Ellie before she met up with Joel.
How she got
that was a
infected.
flashback.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. That's right. It was the story of like the first time all that happened. I enjoyed all of that. I thought it was good, and I'll watch the recap, and I will give the new season. I'll give it a chance. As I've said repeatedly on this show, I want everything to be good. You're crazy if you don't want things to be good. If you sit down to a meal and you want it to be bad, what kind of
Succulent
world are you living in? I want the succulent meal to be delicious. I want the show to be delicious, but something tells me this is not going to hold up. Are you very, very, very excited about this?
Oh, both Sabrina and I have constant boners.
And if you wanted...
But are you excited about the show?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm super stoked about it. I'm going to have a watch party. Would love for you guys if you... Celine, did you even watch it?
Yeah, I did.
No.
Okay.
We very much enjoyed it.
More than welcome to join, but it will be the Last of Us crew. And from what I have read and understand, and Jeff and I share it with each other, is they are kind of veering off. We thought maybe for a second they were going to come out with the third game. They said no more. They're not doing it.
Yeah, the creator Neil Druckmann has said, if I can't compellingly come up with a reason to make a third game, I'm not going to.
I'm
He's
sorry.
tried
Millions of people is not compelling enough.
He doesn't care, which is kind of cool, actually.
Well, I think he does. It's for the sake of the story. I think he has an ending that the second game has already illustrated. I will say this. When the first game came out, he said, this is a story about love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most people who watched that got it, right? The second game, when it was coming out, he said, this game is about hatred.
Oh, and is it?
See? It's going to be different, man. I don't know.
But
It's going to be good.
It's so much better. I'm a massive stan for the second game.
I am as well, and they're going to separate, I think, the second game into what they said was 2 or 3 seasons. But
So did the first season cover the
The first
entirety
game.
of the first game?
Correct.
And the standalone prequel.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
we'll
think
see.
those that are not familiar with the game are going to be shattered. and
Yeah.
still watching every single Sunday. Very excited.
Pedro Pascal even said that the showrunners are sick, sadistic freaks.
Ooh.
Bootsy Moonshine says, I enjoyed the first season, as did I. I liked most of the first season. I thought it was pretty damn good.
It's so good, man.
I don't have time to rewatch it.
All right.
There's too much new stuff. I can't go back. I'll watch the recap. I'll absolutely do that, and I'll get myself primed so I'm in a good position, and then I'll watch the new one. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. I know today was a big day in the video gaming world. Speaking of video games, because today Nintendo dropped the Switch 2. It's happening. It's out there. And it's going to be in stores June 5th in the United States of America.
So completely sold out already with a pre-sale.
It is probably in high demand. They now have a new button on there, which seems like a bad idea to old Shawnee here. There's a C button on the remotes now, and when you hit it, it enables game chat, which makes it so you can talk to other friends while playing games online, which is when all the bad stuff happens. But they're launching this new one, first new console in quite some time. The Switch 2 is out. When's the last time PlayStation dropped anything new? Is
The
that
5?
Last year.
Well, if the 5 was last year?
I think it was last
The
year.
5
really?
Pro, I think, was, but
Okay.
the Switch is what brought me back to gaming since I was an adolescent. And that was COVID. And everyone's like, Animal Crossing's awesome. And
It blew up.
I mean, Courtney and I every day are like, how's your land doing?
Yeah,
and now
Fritz-
I fear the day that I go back because they are going to rip me apart. There's cockroaches everywhere, everything overgrown. Where have
Fritz,
you
to
been?
your point, in 2020, November of 2020 was when the PS5 ended up coming out. And
That shows you
maybe
how
the-
long I've gamed.
Yeah, maybe the hardware is just kind of maxed out now or something, and they just really don't need to release a lot of new consoles.
They even said the point of realism is at the limit for the technology right now. They can't really get any better than what they have, and it's kind of like what you see is what you get.
I liked it back in the day. I was playing Prince of Persia, Carmen
You would
San
love
Diego,
Minecraft.
Minecraft. I played it
looks
before.
like 1989.
Qbert?
Perpetually.
Yeah. Qbert, Marble Madness. I was a man with a plan with those games.
I don't think I've ever played a Minecraft.
What a pussy. Okay, when we come back, we'll do the final dispatches.
Have you ever played a Minecraft?
I have played one Minecraft in my entire life.
You crafted
but
one mine?
I don't even know if I crafted anything. I wandered around the Minecraft
You just
world.
punched a tree a couple times?
Just kind of wandered around and ran into things like an old man with a control.
I like Minesweeper.
We'll do
It's a better
the
mind game.
Final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
Meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast, and today is going to be another hot one, but overall staying mostly dry. We don't have widespread showers and storms in the forecast for today, but temperatures will be back into the low 90s under a partly to mostly sunny sky. A high of around 90 degrees today in Orlando. The 90s will stick with us all the way throughout the weekend. It's not until about Tuesday that we start to get some relief from the heat and also some more rain chances. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by FreshFromFlorida.com.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting FreshFromFlorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Folks, it's starting to warm up. It's getting hot out there, and this is just a taste of what's coming this spring and summer. Your AC is going to be back and forth. Like last night, for example, it went from 80-something degrees to storming and low 70s, and then right back up after those storms subsided last night. It was crazy, and your AC is like really under pressure, so it's a perfect time to get it looked at if it's not working right. And don't freak out because Mills Air is going to send a great tech to your house that'll be very, very nice and knowledgeable and knows how all these ACs work from top to bottom. They're a Carrier factory authorized dealer, so if you need a new Carrier unit, they'll get you big rebates that you're not going to get other places. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you could always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Here's the number, 407-277-1037. 1159. That's 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Don't miss an evening with Lee Asher, animal rescue advocate and founder of the Asher House. Lee will share stories, talk about his journey to save animals, and his true purpose to inspire.
Final skull, Mike. Final skull, Mike. Who's our chatter of the day? Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, our chatter of the day is Crazy Drunk Cat Lady. Crazy Drunk Cat Lady. She's got good vibes. She's a community builder. She's a nice person. I vouch for her. And she is our commenter, chatter of the day on the stream. Congrats. Cole says, I didn't participate. You did participate. Everybody participated. Of course, if you've been around for the last couple of weeks, you know that BHAW specifically is not allowed to win chatter of the day. We've gone over why. We've talked about these reasons before. Everybody else besides BHAW is included in potentially becoming chatter of the day and everything that entails. It's just not BHAW. That's the only exclusionary person. For obvious reasons. Lots of people vouching for her. And thank you, by the way, for the BHAW report emails to the folks who sent those in with screenshots and all that shit. I really appreciate it. I can't stay on top of everything that happens in chat. So when somebody comes in with something that over the line and talks about things that are just obviously messed up and wrong and sadistic, I appreciate getting a report about that, which is why I handled the situation quickly. The people saying what's happening, if you didn't see it, if you didn't know what was going on, perhaps it's not for you, but it was something that was, I thought, a very, very pressing and important issue. So it was handled. It was handled quickly. Uh-oh, coming back. Oh, no. Thought we were coming back. We still got a minute. BHAW is allowed to still participate in chat for now, but if there is, we're at like a one-strike situation. Racism, sexism, homophobia, and then what she did, those things will not be tolerated. So that's one strike. Two more, zap.
Terms apply.
From the very beginning, iHeart has believed in me.
Even now, I still get excited when I hear one of my songs playing on the radio.
Thank you, iHeartRadio, for honoring the truth I've fought for in my music.
Because we believe in the power of music. All your favorite artists, all in one place. The free iHeartRadio app.
What if I can guarantee the price of Bitcoin will be $1 million in 2030? Well, I can't, but I can guarantee you'll save a lot of money on blinds at my company, Blindster.com. Free samples, free shipping, and guaranteed to fit. Shop at Blindster.com today.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's
To wrap everything up for a Wednesday. It's been fun, friends, as always. And if you missed any of the show, you can always get the podcast. Last I check, it's free, and you could subscribe on iHeartRadio. Love them. They pay the bills around here. If you want to get podcast updates whenever the show is posted each day, I tweet it out at The News Junkie. At The News Junkie. You can follow all of us on all social media platforms, including Fritz, over at thenewsjunkie.com/share. Do follow along. Go see him next week for Fritz's Funhouse Trivia. It's a blast. People love it. Rain or shine, believe it or not, he'll be out there. And
like downpour. It was crazy. We're still doing it.
It was really bad, wasn't it? That was a rough storm out of nowhere.
You know what was crazy, though? This morning, Darcy and I were looking at our plants, and we have monarch caterpillars all over the place now. So I think the rain kind of brought them out, and they're all fat, and they're going to turn into monarch butterflies.
That's sweet.
Well, Fritz, it's always a nice time hanging out with you. Thanks for being with us today. That's much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody else who's been with us for the ride, we love you. Now, let's do these final dispatches and see what the hell you have on your mind as we shut the door behind us.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Maybe. Who knows? It's not for me to say. I mean, it's kind of for me to say, but we'll see what we got here. We got a couple coming in here at the end, so let's refresh and get to here's Sport Johnston with a dispatch for
What
us.
up, Junkie? But hey, y'all were talking about baby names.
Yeah.
I have an aunt and an uncle that actually got a divorce because of a baby name situation.
Making it sound like a hot show today. We talked about more than that.
My uncle wanted to name the kid Mackenzie, and my aunt was stubborn, stuck, and would not come off her name. She wanted to name the kid Myrtle.
Myrtle, huh?
Myrtle. Wow. So when they had the baby, they named her Myrtle, but my uncle would always introduce her as Mackenzie, and that caused the argument, and they ended up separating because of that. So
fighting, getting split up over a name.
Love is love.
I wanted to name Dylan a different name. I've talked about this on the show, and I was like, here's my input. I think his name should be Dallas. And
Dallas
that input,
is a cool name.
It got shut down immediately, and Dylan was his name. And Dylan is his name to this day. But he was close to being a Dallas. What else do we got here on the way out? Here is somebody talking about Iron Claw.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys, you were talking about movies, and Sabrina mentioned crying her eyes out for Iron Claw. I wanted to point something out. There was one more brother, Chris Von Erich, that they had to cut out of the movie.
Yeah.
Because it was one more heartbreak than the movie could withstand. At least that's what the director felt. That whole family story is insane. I mean, 3 of the brothers committed suicide, the father dying tragically, the real potential star of the family dying in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. And
I don't know anything about this, but I know that movie is supposed to be quite sad. It's why I haven't watched it.
It's very sad, but that new show on Max, Hollywood Demons, one of the episodes that they're covering this season is going to be on the brothers.
That's the Von Erich family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
ICH.
I think I skimmed their Wikipedia before and found it to be very, very interesting. I just haven't been in the headspace to want to actually watch the whole thing.
I can also send you the Fort Fritz story that I did about him.
Oh,
also
that's very
super
interesting.
Sad. I got teary-eyed.
Oh, damn it, man. I thought it'd be less crying.
Nah, you're going to cry more.
If I'm going to cry, it'll be because of your content.
Oh,
right? Oh, God, I mean that in the best of ways.
Wow, Sean.
That's one way to put it.
On. I'm sorry. I meant that in a very positive way, Fritz.
Yeah, I have a huge boner now, so thank you. Yeah, I took it.
I realized that could be interpreted different ways, but I meant that in a very positive way.
It usually is.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Over 200 passengers sickened with neurovirus aboard a luxury cruise ship.
Damn it.
The Cunard Line over in New York and traveling to the UK. A lot of people got sick on that cruise. Be careful on the high seas. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for Luigi Mangione.
No!
The guy who killed the CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson. And Spider-Man 4 has been announced. It's going to be called Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
New Spider-Man?
Yep. I don't know if people are going to be psyched for it, but the Spider-Man's going to be the same dude, though. Tom Holland. He'll be the same Spider-Man.
I love him. He's so
but
cute.
they're kind of rebooting the thing. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. 7 stories from around the web and around the world. No, I don't do that anymore.
Oh, that was a throwback.
Used to. Today I Learned, if you tune in your radio to 91.9 Montclair, New Jersey,
top hits,
you'll hear this jam. That's right. I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men on 91.9 in Montclair, New Jersey. This song
nonstop
has been playing for 13 years straight. That's it.
Did they get a royalty check?
I hope so.
They've been stunting for 13 years.
13 years of stunting. Just ready to unleash this new Jack FM brand or whatever comes after, I'm sure. Today I learned the longest game of Monopoly. Do you know what that is? Or are you just reacting because you thought it was Jack Bradshaw?
No, Jack FM related to I'll Make Love to You. It's my sick head.
Oh, I see.
like
Today I learned the
Jackson.
longest game of Monopoly was played at a frat in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The game lasted 5 days in 1961. When the bank ran out of money, they wired Parker Brothers, who sent them $1 million of Monopoly money by air that was delivered by an armored car to their location.
The good old
And
days.
finally, today I learned this electronic group.
Prodigy.
Prodigy is correct. Yes, indeed.
An
Keith
amazing
Flint.
band.
Keith Flint of the Prodigy owned and ran a pub in England. At that pub, they had a jar, and any customer that made a fire starter joke as he lit the fire inside the place would have to pay £1. Pound penalty for any fire starter jokes at his place.
That's great.
Good old Prodigy. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Fritz.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
We'll be
Fritzy.
back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.